and Smoke Knox and I will be talking about the same game also. So we'll just do that one shot.
Awesome. Dude, I've been having a blast with Helldivers.
Yeah.
So when I'm not playing Final Fantasy, I'm playing Helldivers.
well,
All right, save it all.
Are you all in for some democracy?
Oh, always. Oh, look at that.
We all gotta get in there.
It's not going to show that. It's not going to do
It's
it.
camouflage. It's great.
Bug can't see him.
That's what we're planning. The four of us.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, hey, I said, Mark, you sent me this. Post it on the page. I thought I sent you this. Hold on. I'm sending you. Just check the DM. I just sent it. Save this.
Eric's having feelings.
All right, guys, we are. The feed is up now, so if you guys want to share it out from the page on there. Yeah, share it out. Go ahead.
Yeah, Benny, are you able to do that on our end?
Facebook is better, I would say.
Why can't I die? Existence is pain.
We're gonna have fun.
I got my big puppet. He's in the back. God, I won't
Wait.
All right, we'll behave. Let's go.
Attention, you are now tuned in to Pass the Controller. Game on. Round table, show me your moves. How these moves get good and get in the groove. Gears of war like Sonic hopping the tuck. You don't want the smoke, you'll get body by big nuts. Come for the character, stay for the content. Stand from the elite to the civic binding. Conventions are stream, the topics deceased. So tune in, peace and hair grease. Let's go, baby. Peace and hair grease. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller.
Oh, hello there. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode number 66 of the Pass the Controller Show. This is your boy Civic Mind, and I'm here. It is season 7, episode 3. Yes, we've been around for 7 years now, so they haven't polled us yet. So we must be doing something right. Very exciting show tonight. We have very special guests with us tonight. We have Pressed for Time. We're super excited to have these guys because I've known at least one of their members now for many years. Super cool guy, and I had the privilege of being on their show a couple months back when they did their podcast, and it was just an amazing time. So we're just so happy to have them here tonight. Before we get into that, guys, we got to do the introductions, and we got to start off with the number one marquee big time announcement here, which is we have with us the reigning PAX East video game champion of the world, Mr. Mark McNucks Carter.
Yo, listen, man. That was a if y'all was at PAX East, first of all, that was 4 days of Omegathon craziness, man. I mean, it was like 32 contestants, 16 teams, and your boy came out with the victory. Cause seriously, I was like, I didn't expect to go far in a tournament, man. PAX East was so much fun, dude. Seriously, so
give us the quick list of games you had to play.
All right, so
NBA Jam, and then
day one was NBA Jam, which it was NBA Jam Tournament Edition, which your boy kind of screwed us up, man. You know, screwed up a little bit, but my teammate kind of did it. You know, shout out to Drowning Rabbit, my teammate. Day 2 was Pac-Man Battle Royale, which was the most hyped game. You gotta love it, dude. And then day 3, they switched it up with a board game called Crokinole. I never played it before, so I mastered it so quickly that we kind of demolished our opponents, man.
Kokomo, like the Beach Boys song?
Hey, down in
Coconut.
Jamaica. Ooh, I
can't, man.
And then what?
And of course, the championship, it threw us all back to the Windows 95 era, which was Space Cadet 3D Pinball and Minesweeper, man.
Wow.
That was I was like, God, you took me back to when I was like 8 years old.
On the desktop,
man.
God damn.
Yeah, right? Seriously. And your boys came out with the victory, man. So, you know, they gave us the prize of going to a PAX of our choosing, which I might go to PAX Australia. You know, this year.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah, and a monetary, you know, kind of contribution, which I ain't gonna say on air, man, because y'all gotta find out, man, next time. So
okay,
yeah, it's a lot of fun, dude. It's a lot of fun, man. Seriously.
Well, congratulations,
I appreciate
man. We were
that,
happy
man.
for you. Yeah, you
Appreciate
definitely
it.
represented.
That's
So
what we
next
do.
up, we have the number one, Mr. Legendary himself, the guy who's been defending democracy now for weeks. Man, democracy would not be what it is today without this man's contributions, all right? The man, the myth, the Marine, Mr. Eric the Smoke Moran.
What's going on, everyone? Yeah, I just had to have my cup of liberty, you know. Had to this do it all for liberty, man. And later on, we're going to talk more about that, including the extra activities in keeping democracy the way it is. But
dude, you're spitting bars over there.
Yeah,
liberty, democracy.
That's right. It's all about
P. Diddy.
You know, and if you're not careful out there, you could get killed because you didn't serve liberty right. So, you know, it's all about democracy right now.
I thought you were gonna say P. Diddy get you.
That's right. So there's a lot more to talk about. But Sib, I want to get to the rest of the members of our crew before we introduce our main guest.
All right. Well, we got Nick. All right. And very excited.
Yeah.
We have with us tonight. No, go ahead. Nick, what's going on, man?
Dude, you know what? A lot's going on, man.
The mantle with the flannel.
I am coming to you live from the lovely Red Lion, Pennsylvania. We are chilling. Tori and I just watched the most recent episode of Invincible. It was great. We finished book 1 of the animated Avatar, which is way better than the live action. That's a different place to discuss, man. Dude, I've just been playing games here or there, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for what we got coming up in this year. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I may be repping, spoilers of a very famous voice actor that will be at a Too Many Games, who may have voiced my favorite Digimon of all time. I've kind of been going through a little nostalgia kick. But, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later here on. But, man, I'm ready. Go ahead and introduce our guest. Let's have a good time.
All right.
I'm ready.
So with no further ado, I am excited here. We have pressed for time with us. We have Benny Rose and we have Tyler Nethers. Gentlemen, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Welcome to the show, first of all, and thank you for your time. But just give us a little bit of heads up. What are you guys all about? What do you do? And why would you bother with us? Go ahead.
Tyler, lead the way, my friend.
Lead the way. Oh, Jesus. Benny always does this too. He puts me on the spot. Benny's the hype man, and then he hands it off to me like, no, go handle it. So, yeah, man, we're pressed for time. We picked the name years back. We had started a podcast. We've both been journalists for gamingage.com, doing like written reviews, stuff like that for about 10 years. That's how we met each other. That's where we got our start. And shoot, man, 5-6 years ago, Benny and I were like, man, we want to take this a little further. We want to do a podcast. And we booted up an audio only podcast that like 6 people listened to. It was really awesome. We had droves of loyal fans, but we had a really good time doing it. But it kind of fell off as things go. We started having our kids and life got busy. You know how it goes.
Life happens.
Yep. And then last year, he and I started talking. We were like, man, let's get back into it. Let's do it for real this time. Let's do video. Let's do audio. Let's do Twitch. Let's expand and kind of make this a multimedia deal. And, it kind of took off a little bit. We've had a really good time doing it. We've been doing it for almost a year now. We kept the same name, but we've kind of revamped everything on our end. So, Press for Time works for us. I've got 3 kids and I work. Benny's got his son and he works. So we still both write for Gaming Age, and we've got, 100 other projects going on in the background. So we truly are pressed for time. And we feel like that's kind of fit with our theme, and our audience has kind of resonated with that. Like, hey, we get it. We're all busy people. Not everybody can do this for a living. So it's kind of landed us in a nice sweet spot. We've got a lot of really good core followers that we enjoy interacting with, but we've been expanding pretty rapidly for, being just a year. So we're really excited to keep growing and are thrilled to be here.
That's awesome. Now, remind me, because I don't think we have all of the members of Press for Time here tonight, or is it just you two? I think you had more.
We do.
Ago,
so
correct?
Yeah, so when we started initially, it was just the pair of us, right?
Mhm.
And when we rebooted the show last year, it was just the 2 of us. But since then, we've really grown. We've got Juan Castillo as part of the team. He's our artist that does all of our artwork for backgrounds, for our avatars, everything like that. He's been on the show as well. He's a musician, does a lot of synthwave stuff like Benny does with Neon Arcadia. We've
Nice.
got Paul, who is also a writer at Gaming Age. He does the toy closet with Benny. He's more the toy and merchandise side. And then we've got Monica is our resident horror expert and Twitch aficionado. She streams over on Twitch all the time, and she's
Those are the same thing.
Yeah, she's a big cosplayer. She does like baking cosplay, which is really cool. She'll dress up like a character and do themed baking streams.
Nice.
It's fantastic.
Oh, I thought you meant like a is it cake thing, like
No.
an edible cosplay, like some
be
Willy
cool,
Wonka
though.
type stuff, like some Willy
Monica,
Wonka
you
shit. You know what
listening?
I'm saying?
Is this a person in a costume, or is this a cake? Let's find out. Stabbing.
Let's do it.
That's just Walking Dead by the end of it. Anyway.
Yep. And then finally, we have a friend of mine, Braden. He's also started writing for Gaming Age a little bit. He's big into JRPGs. He plays a lot of Genshin Impact and like Honkai Star Rail, Final Fantasy, Persona. That's kind of his wheelhouse. He streams on Twitch a little bit as well. And he's in the process of doing more video content for us. So Benny and I don't do a whole lot of like video capture and voiceover for gameplay. Braden does that. So he's in the process of kind of getting that side of the business run up, and that's us, man.
So you guys are more or less like all things geek. It's not just video games, it's everything. You guys really run the gamut. That's very cool.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's
Games, movies, manga, toys, anime. I dabble in other
And more.
interests. Yeah,
And
and
more.
more.
Candles for Tyler.
Resident
There it
Evil
is.
candles.
Oh, nice.
This is
What
a,
does that
Easter
smell
egg.
like, by the way, man?
Oh, it smells
purple
like
herbs.
death.
Smells like that. All right, cool.
gamer feet.
Oh
Oh,
man,
it's awful.
I can't bring
So-
a girl over.
Yeah, that's
It's-
a little Easter egg that we do. Like I throw that out at almost every show when he's on because he can't stand it. So now we've had the opportunity to be on another show, and he probably had no idea I was going to.
Nice. It,
Oh, I
it
knew
smells
it was
like
coming.
it smells
I
like
knew it was
typewriter
coming.
ribbon.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is
it's
horrible,
awful.
horrible.
Yeah,
But,
Awful,
uh,
man.
Nice. I gotta
Buy
ask
it
y'all.
now.
I gotta ask y'all real quick, man. Now I usually ask this every guest, man, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. Your favorite game of all time, both of y'all. Favorite game of all time.
All right, Benny, lead the way. You already know what my answer is, so
Legend of Zelda. I have the Legend of Xander with my son
Nice.
on my
Okay.
arm, and a tie would be Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Respect. Tyler, how about you, man?
Bloodborne,
Really?
Bloodborne,
Nice.
Die
Wow.
Hard, all
Oh,
day,
Die
every
Hard.
day.
Really?
Nice.
Yep. So I love all the Souls games. That's my my corner of the world, and I love them all almost equally. They all
Okay.
have something to bring to the table, but Bloodborne is the peak. There's nothing, no experience in gaming has ever topped that for me.
Is it the style? I guess like the gothic. Like what is it? Would you say?
You know, honestly, it's a little bit of everything. It's the Eldritch horror. It's all the the Lovecraft mythos, but kind of turned into something a little better. I feel like it's FromSoft's best gameplay. I like the aggressive style. I like the going after it. You get hurt, you're not
Right.
putting a shield up and trying to retreat. You're
Yeah.
like hammering it home. I'm getting my health back. I'm gonna kill you. Let's go.
Nah,
So
that's fair.
it's that, and then just the replayability. I mean, I play through that game probably once a year, twice a year.
Nice.
Just I can always play it if I'm
Like
hey,
summer
I don't know what to
vacation.
play right now.
Tyler,
It really is.
Tyler, bless your heart, because I cannot stand Souls games. I hate it. Man, listen, I have like it's an immense hatred for that type of style gameplay. I hate it so much.
Mark
dude.
replays Cookamama once a year. He doesn't
Exactly.
have,
There you go. Yes. But bless your heart for actually going through the grind, man, because I couldn't. I
love it. I was the same way, man. I was the same way. I was a hater. I was a hater for a long time. Dark Souls 1.
Really?
Vehemently hated it.
So then what made you convert then, basically?
I had my daughter.
He hated
honestly.
himself more.
No, so I had my first kid. My daughter was born, and I had paternity leave. I was home for a couple months.
Yeah.
And, if anybody that has kids, a lot of that time is spent with them just sleeping on your shoulder.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I'm going to watch new things. I'm going to play new things. And I picked up, my wife had got me Scholar of the First Sin edition of Dark Souls 2. And she didn't know that I hated those games, right? She was trying to do something nice for me. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be a dick and return and not play it. It's like, so I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to learn how to play this. And shout out to Fighting Cowboy on YouTube. He's a content creator that does Souls primarily. I found his walkthrough for Dark Souls 2. And that was what finally got me over the hump. And once I figured out how to actually play those games and like them, I went back, and now I've platinumed every single one.
Nice.
That's a crazy. But wait, that's a crazy. Like, imagine a more rage-inducing game, and then having a child. Like, you can't get up and like throw a controller or store.
Exactly.
You have to keep like a Zen mind. Like, oh, I died for the 68th time. Like, hold it together. I don't
that's
want
what
to
got
throw
me.
the baby. Like,
that's exactly. That's what got me. I couldn't
Dude,
rage.
that was like
quit.
extra hard mode. That was like new game +7. Like, that's crazy.
Now, Tyler,
good for you, man.
Yeah, Tyler, it's funny too, Tyler, because
really.
I was same way like you, man. I couldn't stand one point. I couldn't stand Mass Effect series. I couldn't stand it, man, because Smoke and Civic was playing it, man, and I was like, man, I hate y'all for playing it. That was way back when Mass Effect was a thing,
Yeah.
And
You're young. That's what I understood.
No. So what got me over the hump? The same thing. What got me over the hump was. This was when G4 G4 was prevalent and all that too with Ken Pereira, and Olivia Munn and all that too, and I won a year worth of GameFly when GameFly was a thing, and I was like, what? Let me go ahead and just grab all the series of Mass Effect from GameFly, because I don't got to pay for it, and just try it out. And now I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect, so I get that, man. It's like, kind of like dip your toes in the game of war per se, and try it out. And then I was like, okay, all right, listen, RNGesus, man, blessed me and got me to believe in Mass Effect. So
who had GameFly on their PTC bingo for the year?
How about that?
My gosh, what a throwback.
So I agree with you. Listen, I feel you on that, Tyler. I feel on that.
Yep.
Just to shift gears for a little bit, because we were talking about this before we came on the air, and I was talking to Benny about something that Press for Time recently did a couple weeks ago. I'm flipping through social media, and I see this teaser for an interview that Press for Time did with legendary director, Uwe Boll. Right? You say that name, and it conjures emotions from people, and it
a lot of people,
all kinds of preconceived notions and things. And I saw this preview, this trailer, and it was everything you thought it was going to be. It's Uwe losing his mind, having a conniption, and I'm like, I can't wait until this interview comes out, because like it's definitely like a love-hate thing. You're like, you don't know what to make of this guy. He kind of has like a kind of a notorious reputation in the gaming world for the movies that he's directed based on these various franchises. So as soon as the video comes out, I'm watching this interview. I'm glued to it. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but I highly recommend anybody, if you're even just like a little bit interested in this subject, and if you know this guy, tune in and watch this thing. It is like, I hate to use like a cliche, but it is eye-opening. It is the best interview I've ever seen this guy do, and it's very cool. It's like a lot of fun. You won't regret watching it. But I have to ask, so Benny, how did it feel like getting in front of him, and what led up to that, and how was it perceived? Just kind of break it down for us if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for the kind words. And that was a show that took a lot of willpower to do and a lot of mental prep. And I say that in the most serious manner. Primarily, Tyler and I had that opportunity to interview him sometime last year, and we had committed to it, and then we just had some life things happen. We had to cancel. So fast forward, I figured it was a lost opportunity, and then I'm like, maybe it's for the better. I don't know if I want to do that. Do we want that on our portfolio? And then I'm like, you know what? I want that on my portfolio because I know I can bring the best out of people on our show. That's one of the striding goals that I have. And the big challenge was doing my research, which I am already familiar with his work, but then looking more at the other interviews. And like you said, he is one of those guys that kind of gets riled up very easily, very raw, very open-minded, has a lot of perspective on a lot of different things. And, you have to tread lightly with certain topics. That's just the vibe that I got from all my research. So fast forward to when we get it booked, it ends up being just Uwe and I, and I took the day off from my day job because I needed to make sure that I was mentally prepared before, and my bed rest for after in case of anything. So we sat, we chatted, and it was everything I hoped for, good and bad, but it was very insightful. That's the best thing I'll say, because he is somebody that I don't feel has been given the right opportunities to speak about his craft, because the media has always perceived his movies to be bad. And that's kind of the world we live in now. If you look at movie scores and critic scores are always lower for the most part. Audience scores are always higher or significantly higher. The disconnect is there. The media is not always going to be the best person to perceive the content that comes from these creators. So I think it was a pleasure to speak with him and learn about not only his past, learned about that he's making movies again. A lot of people thought that he retired, and he's literally in April, like literally this week, he's going to be going to Croatia to film a movie about the migrant story, and he's dealing with like real life type stuff, and he's going to put his twist on it, of course. And that, again, it's a craft that he takes a passion for, and there's not too many directors out there that live that life, continue to live that life, and stick with their guns. So yeah, it's a little bit of a long interview, but again, it was organic, it was unscripted, really important concept. And there's a cool little surprise that you might appreciate in the beginning of that episode. But thank you.
And I'll tell you something. I think you said something very important, which was previous to you interviewing him, and I agree with this, he had never been interviewed the right way. And I'm not dogging anybody else who's interviewed him. I just think that they couldn't get past their preconceived notions of him. I think that a lot of people who speak to him and a lot of people who interact with him, they go in with this idea of him that does not necessarily reflect the reality. And you were able to get the reality out of him. And if I can walk away from listening to an interview or watching an interview, and if I feel entertained and informed, that's right there. That's 100%. That's a home run. But this one I walked away from, and I had a totally different perception of him. I was like I've always been a fan of his work, but I never knew what to make of him. I walked away from the interview as a fan of his. I was like, yeah. I get this. I get what he's about. Like I kept saying this analogy, but like he's in on his own joke. Like he does get it. He understands how people look at him, and I think he plays it up a little bit. But super cool interview. I really highly recommend people check it out. And along that line, give us an idea of where we could follow you, like social media wise, or any appearances you guys are doing. Give us the rundown. How can we follow you?
So right now, there's no like in-person things in the happenings. Tyler and I are definitely in different states. Cool little fact for you guys: we have not met in person yet.
Okay.
It's been
Cool.
It's been a long-term goal for us. We almost had it with PAX West last year.
So close, man.
Life got in the way, but the sky is the limit. We have it as a major goal for us, and we will make sure to chronicle that, because I think that's going to be a really special moment. But I'm hoping in the future to maybe have opportunities to be at shows. I know that you do a lot of shows in the Pennsylvania area. I'm looking to maybe get my presence out there, because I know people don't know you unless you're out there. And
Benny,
I was
Benny, you and let's make it happen. You and Tyler join us in Too Many Games, man. Legit.
There it is.
Yeah. June. Come down.
Let's do it.
Listen,
let's do it.
Talk to Veronica, man. We'll get things happen, man. We gotta have y'all out there, man, with us. Too Many Games in June, cuz Veronica, Virginia. I'm listen, V's.
Apologies, Virginia.
I was like, what's my sister doing here? I'm so confused. What's going on?
But now come through.
Trying to get out of here.
Yeah, come through, man. Seriously, we would love to see you there. Like,
Thank
for
you.
real.
All right.
Very, very
Real,
much.
real quick to you guys, Tyler and Benny, just if you had like your holy grail of industry interviewees that you could do, like who would you most want to get a microphone in front of?
That's a good
Video
question.
game
That's a
wise,
good
video
question.
game industry.
Man.
Mhm.
Shoot, man. I really don't know. So I've done a couple cool interviews. Like I got to do a written interview with Suda51. And
Nice.
that was like the pinnacle for me at the time.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I really don't know. I don't know. Miyazaki obviously would be
yeah.
mine, right? That would be my holy grail. But Suda51 was incredible, and that was such a cool experience. That's one I've never been able to top. That it seems like that was.
That's a pretty hard one to
Yeah.
top. That's
Yeah.
yeah. How about you,
Yeah.
Benny?
Not sure. Never really thought about it because I mean, I love my games and stuff, but I'll probably throw a little thing that people won't love. I don't really get to know a lot of the names of the creators on the developer side. I tend to focus more on the music
Mhm.
composition side.
Okay.
As a musician in me, that's a big thing that I like to look at. But anybody involved with the original Resident Evil, I would say, like original non-director's cut.
Hmm.
Director's cut
Yeah.
is trash, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. But that original game, like I put Zelda and Kingdom Hearts as my favorites of all time because they've had a lifetime to impact me, and they've impacted me enough to permanently ink them on my body. But Resident Evil 1 is one of the biggest life-changing games for me outside of the original Alone in the Dark.
Fair.
So the Alone in the Dark was that intro into horror, but Resident Evil like just changed me as a gamer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to meet anybody that was part of that creative process is definitely bucket list worthy. 100%.
Nice. It's awesome. So speaking of games, we always do this thing at the beginning of the show. We always go around the room. We like to tell everybody and our beloved audience out there what games we're currently playing. So one to start it off, Tyler, I know you're playing a big name game right now, man. Big name game. It's not necessarily hot off the press, but it's a game that's it's rock and roll, man. Tell us about it.
So Final Fantasy 14. I am an on again, off again Final Fantasy 14 lover.
Dude, nice.
Yeah,
That means you're doing it right.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So with the new expansion, we got Dawn Trail coming out here, later this year, right? So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things and get kind of revamped. I'm working my Dark Knight. I'm leveling my Dark Knight class. I'm a tank player always. I'm a tank main.
Nice.
So I'm working my way through. I haven't finished all the expansions, so I'm going through trying to get myself back into the swing of things and ready to go for Dawn Trail. I've got a pretty good free company that I play with. I got a good group of people that I play regularly with. So trying to get, just get re-familiar with it. Because when you step away from an MMO for a while, man, it's hard to come back.
Right.
It's hard to relearn
That's
your
true.
rotations and your positioning and everything. It's like, there's a lot. So I don't want to be the new guy with the new content. I want to be ready to go. So basically just
I have to ask the
back into
big
it.
question here. Did you play Final Fantasy 11?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think they've changed and improved since then? What kind of things have been different now so far as the community goes and the game goes? Because I know that was sort of the prototype.
Yeah.
14.
So honestly, business wise, the free trial, the fact that they keep expanding it, you could get the free trial and play for 3,000 hours and not get to the point where you need to actually buy the game yet is absurd. And, put that up against something like, no disrespect, but something like World of Warcraft. You have to buy in, you have to pay subscription. There's so much money up front that if you're not really sure about it, you're not going to try it. Whereas Final Fantasy is so welcoming, and they've built the entire game around new players. When you log in, you get the novice tag. You're part of the novice network. And that's basically a sectioned off chat where there's 250 new players and 100 advisors. So you ask questions in that chat, and there are other new players that can be like, oh yeah, I just did that. Here's what I can do to help. Or you have an advisor that's their entire job. They signed up in game to be someone that helps you.
Really?
And yeah, you can ping in the novice chat, be like, hey, I'm trying to do this trial. I can't get through it. I need help. And you'll have 3 other new players and 2 advisors pop in. Hey, let's be friends. I'll come in. I'll walk you through it right now.
When was this? Because I'm a day one
That's amazing.
14 player myself as well too. And
Yeah.
I fell off for a while, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually played a little bit of the new expansion at PAX East. You know, they had a booth there, and it's wonderful. Tyler, you're gonna enjoy it. Trust me.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But I'm like, dude, when they never had that kind of like help. You know, you always got to like, you know, people will tell you, oh, well, watch the YouTube videos of how to do your, because I'll play as a monk, and it was like, yeah, go ahead, you know, watch YouTube videos of how to do the whole, you know, schematics and all that too, to learn that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, that's what we had. We had just YouTube videos. And I had to study it like it's homework before I get into like a battle of Titan or a battle of, you know, Garuda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, but just to have people just come in to legit like help you from, you know, even the devs. We never had that in the beginning, you know? So that's when did they start that?
Years ago, before I started playing. So I was not a day one player. I jumped on, I want to say when Heaven's Ward had come out.
Okay.
And I think it was implemented at that time. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure when Heaven's Word dropped. Yeah. So, and not only that, so it puts a little green sprout next to your name. So even if you're running public dungeons, other players will know, hey, that's a sprout, that's a new player. So if I'm a tank, right, and I'm not pulling correctly, I'm not pulling the mobs right. Someone will type in chat, hey tank, I know you're new, here's what you want to do with this dungeon. As opposed to like something like World of Warcraft, everyone's gonna yell at you. They're like, what are you doing, you idiot? Why can't you figure this out?
Yeah.
Like nobody knows, and you're turned off for the game. So I'd say the biggest thing that they did right is making it so welcoming to new players, and that's how you get player retention. That's how you get people to stick around.
I wish we had that, dude. And again, like I said, I was so happy that I do have, you know, when I was running raids with randoms, right, and I, you know, I never had like a problem with like toxic players, you know, which is thankful. But again, I've been in groups where, you know, I would try to like help out like new players, and so, you know, there's some people that are like, oh, you know, yeah, you got to do this, man. Oh man, I can't take this anymore. I got to bounce out. I'm like, dude, just be patient, because, you know, like I said, it's a game we all trying to enjoy ourselves. Well, so with this feature, I'm glad that this is a thing now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To bring in new people, and this makes me want to come back, man. To be honest with you, like I said, I haven't been on in so long, probably about maybe a couple years now.
So what's cool, you'll be in the novice network too. As a returning player, you get a different logo. So it's a sprout, but you have a little flower growing in it that marks you as a returning player that hasn't been on for a long time. You will be in the same novice network, get the exact same help, and everyone treats you, I mean, a little differently. Like, hey, you might remember this, but in case you don't, here's what you want to be doing in here. So it marks you as a returning player and puts you in that same network, which is really cool.
So this harkens back to the question I asked about, you know, like the differences between 11 and 14, because if you remember back, 11 was the one that had a very high level of, I guess I don't say high learning curve. Well, it did have a
it was
normal.
No, it really was.
But it was a big investment gateway for entry, because you had to buy. I mean, I'm talking about back on like the PS2. You had to buy the modem and the hard drive, and then you had to
all kinds of stuff.
It was incredible, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong. But that game did not hold your hand at all.
No, it dropped you right in the deep end and says, have fun, figure it out.
And I think that for a lot of gamers, especially like after you've played a couple other Final Fantasy games, it's so very different that it was dissuasive for a lot of people. Had they not called it a Final Fantasy game, if they just called it something else, I think that more people would have been like, okay, this is different. My expectations are different. But it really didn't follow the formula so closely as like the other Final Fantasy games. So it's nice to see that Square Enix is like really learned, and now the community building aspect is so pivotal and so prevalent in the game that like that's a big selling point. That's what I keep hearing over and over whenever I hear anything about that game. So that's awesome. That's very cool.
It's all community based.
Yeah, exactly. And like the other thing with like a lot of MMOs is like there's no like end game in sight. It's kind of like you run around in the sandbox, but there's not like a clear goal. Whereas like I think in Final Fantasy 14 there really is. I mean, there are clear, you know, there's a demarcation of steps that you have to do and things, and ultimately, you know, there is a goal to the game. So
absolutely,
yeah, it's very cool. Awesome. All right, so Benny, what you playing, man?
So I'm playing a new game that was actually reached out to on the world of Twitter. I don't like to call it the other thing.
Yeah, no one does. No one's going to.
There's some great PR that have kind of taken a different approach to reaching out to media outlets, and they actually reach out on social media directly versus emails. And I've found that I've gravitated towards certain indie games that come up like that. And this particular game is called Berserk Boy. So it just recently came out on Steam and on Nintendo Switch. It is very, very inspired by like Mega Man, Mega Man Zero, and it has music from the composer from the latest Sonic game, Sonic Mania.
Okay.
And it has an awesome anime style intro, and it's just a lot of fun. It's got the same idea of it's like semi open, like you have little hubs that you can go to where you have NPCs, so it's not just like traditional Mega Man level based, and you kind of progress through each of the zones and you can get the powers from the other characters. It's got a lot of that, implementation of Mega Man.
Love
but
this
it's
art
fresh
style.
enough.
Yeah, the art style. I'm looking at it right now on the
Dude,
other
I'm
side.
sold.
That's
I am
awesome.
sold on
It's
this game, dude.
it's so Zero. It's so Z. It's awesome. Like it's
Yeah,
great.
dude.
Yeah,
They
the
X, Mega Man
mechanics-
X. Like it's
yeah,
gonna be. Oh man.
it's a lot of fun. It's got great music again. It's got some voice acting in there. There's got dynamic
Disney
character
might sue
stories.
for that name. I'm sorry. Disney might sue for that
Benny.
name. I'm sorry.
What, Berserk Boy?
Benny,
How?
I
No,
apologize.
it was
Did
New
you-
Hope City.
Oh.
Did you mention who the developer was? I maybe I missed it.
I did not. It's escaping me at the moment. I apologize.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, no
But,
worries.
yeah, that's the
get
main
that, dude.
fresh game that I'm playing, like in the single player side. But I'm living the life of Fortnite, almost
this is-
1,000 hours.
I feel you.
Unfortunately,
Oh, dude. Oh, wow.
Tyler's
Avatar.
Tyler's
That mini
disgusted
pass
right
is
now.
coming.
No, so the
The mini
I
pass
was
of
going to say
Avatar.
the developers. It seems like this is their first game. It's Berserk Boy
Berserk
Games.
Boy Games.
Yeah, that's
Really?
the developer and publisher.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
guys, this
And
is,
it has a-
I'm so-
That's like when the artist's like first album is the name of the band still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Kiss
It's got a
by
free
Kiss
demo
or whatever it was. Yeah.
on Steam.
Oh,
Steam
dude,
has
I'm
a demo,
gonna
so
play
go
this
check
as
that
soon
out.
as possible, dude. This is so.
Mark's
I'm
gonna do
sold.
this on What in the World Wednesdays or whatever.
Forget that. I'm playing this on Fresh Fridays. This is beautiful,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what you got going on.
Oh my
I don't know
god,
what's
this is,
going on.
I
I'll
love this
make
kind
sure
of
to let
stuff.
the PR team know that.
Yeah,
we got
that's
some
gorgeous, man.
Large
No-
interest.
Nux,
It's
you
a
know-
lot of fun.
You know who would love this game, right? Our friend April.
Oh, yo, yeah, I gotta tell her. Yeah, I have to tell
This
her.
is
Friend-
this is like a
friend of the
must
show.
play.
Yeah.
Like there are certain people that gravitate towards
Oh, you're
certain
grinding.
certain
Yeah.
gaming franchises more than others, and like we know people that just like love Mega Man
Dude,
and
I'm so
vicariously
sold.
would love this. But I have to ask the big question. So Benny, did you play Mighty Number 9?
Oh, we not talking about that. We not talking about
No,
that.
Mighty number 2. So
Oh man.
funny story that actually connects to you in a way, because it's around the time when we first met.
Mhm.
Flashback to Too Many Games. We're talking about around the time when that game was being crowdfunded, and if you remember the publisher that was working with them, NT Creates,
Mhm.
they were a guest at Too Many Games.
I
And
remember.
one of my first writing gigs for Gaming Age was an interview with Matt Papa at NT Creates to talk about that game, unfortunately. And we talked a little bit about that, and I was excited. It was actually the first crowdfunding game that I put money into, and
I did too. Yep.
quickly
Mhm.
quickly regretted.
Yep.
Oh.
But, then there
Can't
was
win them all.
then there was Bloodstained, and that changed my perception forever, personally.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that made up for that. But yeah, Mighty Number 9, lost into history, unfortunately.
Yeah,
at least for
rest in
me.
peace.
Lots of potential.
happens.
Just didn't quite hit the mark, but it was a valiant effort,
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
This
let's
looks
go.
awesome.
All right. Speaking of Nick.
Oh,
What are you playing, buddy? It's a secret to everyone.
Nickelodeon.
Because you didn't tell me, man.
I've
so
been playing a lot of
I'm
things.
glad he
there.
said
We
it
don't
and not
say
me.
that word, Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Well,
he said it.
yeah, right, dude. Trust me, dude. I watched that thing. I was like, I'm gonna change
I'm
my
about to-
name.
I was
God
about to give you
damn,
a
all
hug,
these-
Nick. I was about to give you a hug, man.
No,
He's going to
no,
change
no,
his name
no.
to Harvey Weinstein now.
Oh, for love of God.
That's
Oh,
even
shit.
worse. Oh my goodness.
No, we were
God
going to
dang.
give we were going to
Anyway.
give Nick P Diddy. Actually, we were going to name you P Diddy.
He-
What-
his-
can we
his new
stop with
nickname
all-
is gonna
We're
be-
gonna stop right now.
He-
We ain't getting any of this.
R. Kelly.
Nicholas P. Oh goodness, dude! I've been
All
playing
right,
a bunch
what are
of
you
things. Like I
playing?
said, I've been playing. I've been on a Digimon kick. I've been playing the Digimon game story. That's been fun. I've been playing Fortnite like crazy with some of my friends. I've been playing. Tori and I started a playthrough Jack and Daxter, Helldivers. I've been playing a bunch of stuff. But the thing I wanted to talk about is I finally started my playthrough of Final Fantasy VII. It is the first time I've ever experienced the story in
Remake?
any way, shape, or yes, remake. It's
Wow.
awesome. The
Okay.
gameplay is so much fun. I'm not that far. I'm just only in Eco Terrace so far. But that's all you need
Nice.
sometimes. But I've killed a few things out in the backyard, a couple little monsters here and there, walked around the town, but I'm dipping my toes in the water. I'm getting my feet wet. The combat's fun. It's a good time. I wasn't going to spoil it because I know that I am being judged heavily about my lack of knowledge of. I have a very long and complicated history with Final Fantasy.
Well, wait till the end of the show, then.
I played Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying because I used to play Kingdom Hearts as a kid, and I was very bad at that anyway. Like, it's so hard to understand those games sometimes as a kid, but going back as an adult, it's been fun. And dude, remake is just the combat's fun. That's the thing about it. That's honestly what hooked me right away. The combat's fun and just running around and having a good time. And I knew I couldn't be made fun of by everybody anymore for only playing. What was it, 13? Yeah, that was the one I tried. That was my first Final Fantasy to try.
Okay.
And it was a mistake. Yeah, I know. I've heard this. Don't worry. We've moved on to bigger and better things in life, and this is definitely we must go forward. Go forward, and that's what this is. It's Nick, a good time, and I'm excited to play through much more moving forward. It's going to be a long time.
Just gave me bad vibes thinking about Barthandalos.
Dude.
I have a question I always ask new players when they play Final Fantasy VII for the first time. I always have a question I ask.
Yes, sir.
I always get pretty much the same answer, but let me ask you something. How about that soundtrack?
Of course.
How about that soundtrack? It's pretty good. It's orchestral, man.
It's pretty good.
That's got to be the understatement of the show.
You heard it first here.
It is sweet. What?
Dude, listen, that's going to be on the box. That's a full quote.
Look,
the soundtrack is pretty good.
Well, the problem is
I'm never asking that question again.
I go from playing this to then go and playing a couple rounds of Fortnite and hearing like all these emotes and all this terrible music and all this lobby crap.
Doing the gritty all day.
Amazing.
Oh my God! Listen,
come
on, man. You get praise. Listen, praise be Nobuo.
Anyway,
praise be Nobuo. That's all I gotta say.
Dude, I am the least qualified to praise this game. I have just experienced it. I destroyed a spider tank, and then I gave a girl a flower. I bet she's not important to the overall story whatsoever.
Not at all.
Definitely not.
I kept that flower.
You sure about that?
Until a different girl.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, Nick. Wait till you get to Rebirth, man, where you really need the guy.
Stop. Okay.
Listen, I gotta say, you just need the guy. You just need the guy.
Spoiler alert.
In other news, so Nick touched on something. He name dropped something, and now we have to make a special announcement here on PTC because I think we have a first. We have done this segment. What we've been playing, we have done this segment 66 times over the course of 7 years. There's only been one other time where more than two of us were playing the same big game at the same time. But now we have a record because not only are the 4 core members of PTC playing this game, but I'm pretty sure, Benny, I know you're playing it. Tyler, I think you're playing it, and you can confirm nor deny. But this is a record because most of us right now are playing Helldivers 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's 6 for 6. That is a first. That is a first.
Now we
salute.
Now we gotta give it to the highest member, the highest level. Smoke, man. Smoke got to start us off with this, man.
Actually, well, before we go any further, actually, Civ is the
really
highest.
okay.
He's the highest ranking. Now I got almost over 100 hours.
Wow.
Civ is like well over.
True.
We were talking about it yesterday.
This close to the platinum, man. This close to the platinum.
Wow.
That's awesome.
All right,
bravo.
Let's talk about it, man.
Let's. I'm gonna let Smoke talk this game up, but to start off by telling us, for those who don't know, what kind of game this is, where it can be played, how much it costs. Give us the pitch. Give us the elevator pitch for Helldivers 2.
Bottom line is, for those who are avid fan of Starship Troopers, Terminator, a little bit of Aliens, and any kind of 90s throwback sci-fi action, hardcore military film you could think of, that is Helldivers 2 in a nutshell.
Oh yeah.
Basically, never in all the time I've played video games, and everyone that has watched this show, that across the board, my fellow co-hosts, knows I hate multiplayer games. I am not a fan of it. I've never been a fan of it. Especially when I was trying to still get the bad taste out of my mouth with Suicide Squad, which is a game that I highly, at that time, supported. Here comes Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2, not a AAA game. No, not a $70 game, a $40 game. Okay. Not only was the game so much of an impression on me that I downloaded the download version of it, but I also bought the physical copy. Not only is it one of the first and only multiplayer games that I've ever owned and that I've been playing, but I've been playing consistently on a daily basis. It's become part of my routine part of my daily life. Before I go to bed, I'm playing Helldivers. Sometimes when I get up at 4 in the morning after I feed my dog and I got my bag ready for work, I'm playing Helldivers. Whether it's you could play it solo, you could play it in a group. You have so much vast territories to cover in order to protect Super Earth. It's a game like from the propaganda video in the beginning to boot camp. It takes you, and you don't have to know anything. You go into it. You don't have to know anything from the first game of Helldivers, other than a little bit of history here and there. You don't really have to know anything. You go into the game, you play the game, and you're thrusted right into it. And I mean, everywhere from Vietnam to the sands of Dune, everything that you can picture. And I'm talking about some of the most epic moments you could play. From the music soundtrack. The soundtrack is so awesome that I got it now in my MP3 player as part of my workout routine when I go to work out. I have again, I went back, watched Starship Troopers again, Aliens again, Terminator again. This is how much. Look, right now I built my first Helldivers helmet, and then I just did a second helmet. I'm building
that up again. Hold it in front of yourself, like right here, so the camera can see. There you go.
If you show the video,
down the street, I'll come and grab the second one.
Mark, I sent you the YouTube video. You can share it among the brethren and masses of what I did. Not only am I cosplaying this, I'm going to get it ready in time for Too Many Games. I'm trying to
I got you, Smoke. I got you. Yep.
Yeah, I'm also trying to get some of the members of our crew to cosplay along with me. And the cool thing about it is, microtransactions are the bare minimum. You can pretty much, you don't have to spend a dime.
Bare minimum.
And seriously,
bare minimum.
You don't have to spend a dime because everything is pretty much, they have a cap. So they make you want to buy stuff because once you hit that cap, it's like, okay, you got all this money. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to buy these special weapons. I'm going to buy stuff to soup up my ship. You can name your ship. You know, it has its flaws. Don't get me wrong. It has its flaws, but it has its growing pains. It's growing pains. But it's the first game. Like, I have Final Fantasy. I got Stellar Blade demo. I got all these games. I even bought Mark of Cree. I got all these games I've been wanting to play. But guess what I found myself doing? Going right back to Helldivers 2. And normally, after a certain point, after I'm finished the game or platinum a game or whatever, I'm like, okay, I'm moving on to the next game.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Smoke, but Doug, Doug, I'm just looking at your video just now, cuz and everybody has to see this, man, because this thing.
Yeah, you can share it.
This thing is phenomenal, man. Look, dude. Yo, this thing,
Thank you, brother, for sharing with me, brother.
Yeah, share it with everyone.
That is awesome, man. Look at that, cuz. Dude, how long did it take you to build that helmet, man?
The helmet, Villainous Props hooked me up with the first helmet, and I basically did a lot of sanding, a lot of detailing. I mean, I was looking at pictures and all. Then the second one, I got the files from Galaxy Props. Basically,
Look at that,
I got
man.
their
Look
files.
how handsome he is.
I made the helmet for the Hero of the Federation helmet. So, like I said again, I got another helmet coming that I'm going to be working on for one of the members of our crew and stuff. I got armor being made right now.
Okay.
So it's part one. If you guys can share the video, let everyone see the video.
All right, let me pause things just for a second here because I want to ask a question to the group. Okay, how many of us, by a show of hands, played the first Helldivers game?
Nope.
Any of us? Nobody. Benny, Tyler, nobody.
Nope.
All right, I played the first game. Okay, when it came out, it was available on the Vita, on PS4, and I think even on PS3, if I recall. And it was a top-down twin-stick shooter game, and it was very much like the modern-day Helldivers we see, with the exception of you're playing from top down, and it's like the Robotron old kind of thing, like the isometric view. You're just looking down on this play field, and you're shooting around. It's kind of rudimentary, but it was still a lot of fun and still had that squad-based aspect to it. So for me, I've never seen a game have a glow up like this. I mean, now you're playing as it's a third person game. It's squad based. So you're playing in squads of 4 players. So they can be your friends, they can be randos, whatever. But basically it's all of you cooperating to achieve common goals and liberate these various planets in this, on behalf of Super Earth. Whenever you say Super Earth,
you gotta give them the
yeah, it's like the Spaceballs.
right.
Screw. Yeah, what Smoke said though is so poignant because it borrows a lot, and it's unashamed about its borrowing from all these different franchises and horror and sci-fi backgrounds. I mean, it's everything. They basically are artistically ripping off everything and putting it into one game, and it's glorious.
They're like the Powerpuff Girls of all these things, Then the Chemical X, and then you put it all together, and then bam, it's like magic. It's great. It's fun. Nothing wrong.
Well, there's
with that.
literally a planet in this game called Clendath 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on. I mean, they know.
Electric Boogaloo.
They try to go over the freaking copyright, which is smart, man.
But yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, there's a part of the game when you finish off all your missions and you're waiting for the ship to come in to pick you all up and the music starts to play and it hits this crescendo, and all of a sudden you got bugs coming up, automatrons, and you're down to the wire, and you're trying to keep your crap together and stuff, man, and it's epic. Every time it plays differently, from the weapons to the build-up. And the cool thing is you have the game designers are very much intertwined with everyone that's playing. In fact, when they started doing the mechs, Civ encountered one of the developers and all. They sent him a mech in the middle of what he was playing and all. I remember that a while back. And so they love the fans. They love to play how people are interacting with each other. There's no real toxic stuff going on. You're going to have your shenanigans, but it's not like you're dealing with regular other games where you're dealing with a lot of toxicity and a lot of idiots and all. You're actually dealing with people that want to play, working together as a team and all that stuff. You do have 1 or 2 people that are out there that are trying to cause issues and all, and they let them know. They're like, yo, if you encounter this person, make sure you kill him because he's out there to try to kill their fellow helldiver and all this stuff. But it's fun. It's all in fun. But again, I cannot tell you how much this game is an amazing game.
Tyler, thoughts on Helldivers 2?
Dude, it's a blast, man. It's a blast. So I assumed it was going to be cross-save, right? Because you have to sign into your PlayStation account on the PC. So I bought a second copy to play because I have my PlayStation in my room. So I'll play at my PC during the day. And then at night, I'll, play in bed or whatever, hang out with my wife, and I'll play on my PlayStation. So I was like, all right, perfect. I played a bunch on the PC, got hooked, bought a second copy for the PlayStation, and logged in and was like, there's no cross-save. I was like, damn it. So now I have 2 accounts going. So I play on the PlayStation and play out here on Steam. So both accounts half leveled now. But yeah, no, it's so much fun, man. It's so much fun. I haven't played with any randoms yet. I have a core group that I run with, and so we're always a full squad, or we just play and don't fill. So I have a buddy that I run duos with a lot. And it's such a good pick up and play game. Like if I've got 20 minutes, if I got 30 minutes, I got 40 minutes, like, all right, we can hop in. I don't have to get committed. We'll run a round or 2 and then I'm gone. That's it. It's such a perfect casual game. And for $40, I mean, come on now.
Can't beat it.
Come on now. Like we got broken games coming out for $70 with $120 worth of microtransactions on the back end. Helldivers
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Helldivers dropped for $40 and is a complete experience, like you talked about. There's growing pains, obviously, but me personally, I'm way more willing to grow with a game through those growing pains when the barrier to entry is so low. And $40 seems too low. It seems criminally low for how much I'm getting out of Helldivers 2.
That's why day one I had no problem forking out that extra $20 for that DLC. I was like, we gotta support this game.
Yeah,
we gotta.
Absolutely.
You know what? I have no problem putting out the extra money for good games.
That's why I don't mind having bought it twice. Like even not being able to
say y'all making up for it.
Yeah, man.
The amount
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, the amount of hype that this game has, to be honest with you, and I've been paying attention to news articles and just polls, and I'm looking at, I'm like, people are saying because this game came out around the same time as a blockbuster game, which is Rebirth, but people are saying that this might take it this year as far as being the best game of 2024, and I'm like, I agree, I highly agree, because honestly, I played Rebirth, and I was going to talk about Rebirth today too, but I was like, I can't, because my hype level is still on Helldivers. It's crazy.
I'll tell you what, Nux, I agree. Somebody asked me the other day on our chat feed, they were like, hey, do you think a game like Helldivers 2 has potential for like a Game of the Year nominee?
It does.
And I said, it will absolutely be nominated.
Yeah.
Correct.
It would be a long shot to win, but it could.
For sure.
Yeah.
You think Game of the Year, or best live service?
It's Game of the Year in general, because
best live service game, it's hands down
for sure. Yeah.
So far, are you kidding? I mean, that's a lock. Yeah, Nick, I think you're 100% right on that. If that's the question they're going to ask, that's the answer I would give. I mean, you look at other games.
I don't think it would be full Game of the Year.
No, but honestly, this is a sleeper. If this is nominated, man, this has my vote 100%. And I love Rebirth. Rebirth is so cool. Yeah. I love it. Storyline's great. But this took my attention for this year. It's amazing, dude. I'm sold. I'm solid already, man. We always do predictions, early on and all that too. I can't. This thing right here has got my heart and my soul, man, locked in 2024.
You will never meet,
bitches.
You will absolutely never meet a bigger Final Fantasy VII fan than me. All right, I'm claiming the title. Look, I got a real Buster Sword sitting above me here.
Yeah.
So I have that.
Better watch out.
I'm going to tell you something. If anybody would have told me a couple months ago, I mean, Helldivers 2 wasn't even on my radar. I didn't even know it was coming out. If you would have told me that a month after launch, I would have had 5 hours into Rebirth and 150 hours, 200 out into Helldivers 2, I would have said you were a liar. I would have laughed. But here we are. I am only at the very beginning of chapter 2 of Rebirth, and it's fantastic. Rebirth is cool so far, but I am engrossed in this freaking game. It's kind of a sickness at this point.
Man,
I see people on, like if I see smoke is on, I bail off of whatever else I'm doing. Whether it's video game related or if I'm just like on my phone and I see like a notification pop up, I just jump on. I'm like, yo, we got to play. It's time. Slow. Squat up.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's really amazing.
This thing interrupts my schedule. I mean, I was in the middle of reading. I was in the middle of
That's what I want. I want a t-shirt. It says Helldivers 2. It interrupts my schedule.
It interrupts my schedule because again, I remember one day I was in the middle of reading the Bible. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of reading the Bible. Let me go play Helldivers. That's how great it was, man. That's how amazing this game is.
The Bible to hell.
You know what I'm saying? Like for real. It's insane like that. This game is so powerful.
Don't be too ashamed because you are doing God's work.
Yeah, right.
Right.
The funny thing is,
is
that even there was another factor of this game where a lot of people say that, and I want to actually put it out to y'all, that they say that they have more fun shooting bugs than doing automatons, man. You know what I'm saying? The aspect of, this game and taking out bugs, you know what I'm saying? And feeling like that Starship Troopers essence, you know what I mean? That a lot of people don't like to play against automatons like that, man. You know what I mean? Because it's not I guess it's not a fan favorite, you know what I'm saying? Like, I agree. I like to shoot bugs myself, you know what I mean? That's probably the best thing. The other best thing is, for me, when I talk about it all the time, and my crew knows, is that the music itself, man. I feel like if it didn't have the music like it had, I probably wouldn't be sold onto the game. You know what I'm saying? So the music,
that song has been in my head for a month.
Yeah, the musical.
I wake up in the morning, I'm like,
yeah, for real.
Don't like P Diddy.
Yo,
I'm okay with it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So the musical aspect and just the shooting the bugs, man. Just it's a renewed vigor, man. It's so awesome. I love this game so much, man.
Yep. Yeah. So I'll do you one better. Like I will hand the title of biggest Final Fantasy fan to you. You got it. You win. You got the Buster Sword. But I'm pretty high. I'm pretty high on Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Rebirth is sitting on my shelf untouched. It was installed.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I have not started it because
you know what it is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just if I'm playing Helldivers or I'm grinding 14 still, right? I'm still playing a lot of 14, but that's a kind of a different thing, right? So if I'm playing Helldivers, man. Like I'm hopping on with my buddies, like because there's always somebody on. It's like, ooh, I could start Final Fantasy, or I could hop on and do some Helldivers.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I think part of it is too, like you don't want to miss the wave. Like everybody's
Right.
playing Helldivers 2 right now. You know that Final Fantasy 7 can wait.
Yep.
So for me, I know what kind of time suck Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is going to be. And I
Mhm.
don't want to jump back and forth. Sometimes I do that with games, but other times I feel like I really need to dedicate the time now while all my friends are playing, because I don't want to be that one guy who, like, everybody else gets stale of the game and jumps off and says, you know what, screw it. And then by the time I come around to wanting to play it, everybody's like, no, we're done with it. I don't
Right.
think that's going to happen with Helldivers 2. I think this game has lasting power. I think, in my mind, I equate it very much with Dead by Daylight. It's a game that I think it's going to be supported by the devs for a long time. They're going to add a lot of different stuff. They've already added a lot of stuff. It's a rough game around the edges, has a lot of growing room to do. But I think it's going to be it's one of those things when you talk about like live service games, like they never launch perfectly and it
Right.
takes time. But you know that you're in for something special when it gets it right, when the formula, congeals and everything's running smooth. So like I'm with you guys. I mean, it's amazing. Like it's not that Final Fantasy 7 is going to be a bad game. Most likely next month's episode, we're all going to be talking about Final Fantasy
Of
7.
course, of course.
But I wanted to talk about it tonight, but I haven't put in enough time yet. I literally can't speak to it. I know I'm going to love it because everything about Final Fantasy 7 is just like a religion to me. But yeah, time will tell. So
yeah, but
go
this,
ahead,
real
Knox.
quick, because this game is so friendly, no matter what level you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, praise to Civ, you and Smoke, man. Y'all are age 50 in this game. You know what I mean? I'm only age 20. You know what I'm saying?
Rank.
Rank.
Age.
My
Damn.
age is not near 50. Okay,
Listen.
My
It's
back
48,
is
man.
killing me.
I'm trying to pretend he is age. He is older than me anyway.
But to jump in with y'all and like, you know what? Y'all, you just got to play smart no matter
My
what level you
back.
are. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, cool. So it's so friendly, dependent no matter what level you are, man. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what group you hang with, man.
You up that
Yeah.
difficulty, it gets really unfriendly real
Yeah,
fast.
it does,
It's
but,
a
you
little
know,
spicy.
but
It's
Listen,
part of the fun.
tonight, I think after this show, I think Nick and Nux and Smoke and myself and Benny and Tyler, if you guys want to join up, squad up with us, we can interchange players. If you guys ever want to game with us, let us know. But I think we're probably going to end up having to stream some of it again tonight because I think we need to show people like what's new in the game. I think we need to kind of illustrate some of the more fun squad based aspects because it's funny to play with other people too.
Oh, yeah.
It's really like adrenaline inducing, but at the same time, it's like you're laughing your ass off like half the time because I hear Smoke freaking out and I hear Nick cracking jokes and I hear Nux like wowing out over someone. I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's just fun. Like you have like all these different personality types that come out when you play games like this. It's very, very cool. Now, not to bring the room down because we try to keep it light on this show, and 9 times out of 10 we do. But unfortunately, this episode we have to spend some time talking about a rather unsavory subject, something that's I don't know, not great, not fun to talk about, but we need to ask the big question in light of recent events: is the video game industry in jeopardy? And I preface this by saying, is this 1983 all over again? I don't think so. However, we need to talk about some things. Now, last year, 2023, just to spit some facts for everybody here. So the gaming industry itself grew 0.6%. Now, that's financially, right? So not great, but we're talking about this is in a post-COVID world here. Now, in 2024, it's anticipated the industry will grow an additional 2.8%. Expected to earn $190 billion this year. Now that's more than the movie industry, books, TV, newspapers, radio, the music industry, tours, everything combined. All of those things. $190 billion. So video games generate a lot of money. But what the hell is going on? We have these big titled games that have been canceled. We've had a Star Wars game bite the dust. We've had 5 Bandai Namco games canceled. We have Spider-Man game canceled. How the hell does the Spider-Man game get canceled? That's ridiculous. We've had over 8,000 layoffs in the industry thus far, affecting Sony PlayStation, Electronic Arts, Microsoft, And you know the shit hit the fan when Nintendo laid off some people from their testing facility, which is absolutely insane. They are potentially going to be launching the Switch 2 here within another year, and they're laying off people in their R&D team and testing teams, which is crazy to me. So a couple studio closings and sell-offs this year, just so far alone. We've had Campfire Cabal, we've had Double Loop, One Player Mission, Threshold Games, Threaks, Little Red Dog Games, Wemo Games, Deviation, Crop Circle, Ubisoft London, crazy. Industrial Toys versus Evil, EA, that one of their branches went under. Pixelopolis or Pixel. I don't have. You know what? I've never heard of that one, so screw them. Here are the big ones, like Free Radical Design, gone. Volition, gone. Ridgeline Games, London studio. What in the hell is going on? What's going on? Tell me what's going on, guys.
Greed.
Yeah.
Greed is going
Money.
on.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's ridiculous. And you know, Benny and I feel the same way. Like, we try really hard to keep things as light as possible. But we've had a couple shows talking about the layoffs, and specifically, I mean, shoot, what was it? I'm trying to find it. The PC Gamer article with the interview with Phil Spencer, who said, I don't get the luxury of not having to run a profitable, growing business, and blames capitalism on it. But he sells millions and millions and millions of games per year, and everybody in the head shed makes, you know, millions and millions and millions in bonuses. Like, you have control. You are the guy that can do something. So we've tried nothing and we're all out of options isn't a very good response to me. And, you know, that's not a dig at Phil. Obviously, he's a company man that works for the company. And that's what everybody's going to say. Everybody at that level is going to say that. But that's where the buck has to stop. That's where the problem is. It's not the parents and the workers that can't afford their rent, can't afford to feed their families. It's not their fault, right? It's not, you know, base level middle managers running a studio. It's not their fault. It's everybody at the very top. It's the people that make all the money. That's, in my opinion, the greed at the corporate level is what has caused all of this to happen.
Yeah, that's a good point. Honestly, you know what? I agree with you on that. Even I remember talking about one episode, you know, I think last season, we had an episode we was talking about like monopolization and mergers, man. One thing is like I always talk about is like, what's Embracer going to do? Embracer was like the top, you know, company that was like insane, you know. And I was like, okay, here's Embracer playing Monopoly, but they're doing it, and the way they doing it, it's like they're either selling a lot of these companies, man. They're planning on laying off, and I'm like, come on, man. If you're gonna monopolize, you got to do something great with it, man. But that was Embracer's plan all along, you know. Yeah. Same thing with Tencent, man. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Microsoft, you know. But Embracer was a big one, man. It's like a lot of these spinoffs, man. I'm like, okay, all right. It's just when a lot of small companies, man, are merging to like a larger, and it's like, okay, we're under a new big boss per se. You know what I'm saying? How's he going to act? You know, is our job safe? That's the one thing that's going through a lot of these devs' minds, man, and it's scary. It's really scary. I remember talking to some people at PAX about that, man. It's like that's one thing they fear is a lot of mergers, man. It's like our job is not safe under a new head, you know. And I'm like, I get that. I really get that.
It's unfortunate. And Knuckles, you said something about other developers, you know, expressing their, you know, their, I guess, fears that those kinds of things could happen, and realistically, yeah, they have and probably will continue to happen. I think part of it is too that the video game industry, unfortunately, is becoming like every other industry. Now that other investors and these conglomerates understand like the valuation of some of these companies, they want to jump in the mix without very much understanding of how the industry works. But they operate as these other companies do, these Fortune 500. So they come in, they buy out these companies, or they merge and lay off, or whatever. And to me, it's kind of like, well, dang, I expect that in the pharmaceutical industry. I expect that in big tech. I expect that in, you know, military, you know, expenditures, things like these, like other industries where you're like, I get it, I understand why. But then when it touches your industry and you see hardworking people, their jobs being jeopardized and their positions being, you know, perhaps, you know, done away with completely, it's very frightening. Last year, and I will die on this hill. Last year was one of the greatest years for gaming ever. the games that came out last year blew my mind. Like it was just one massive hit after the next. And I mean, I just don't know. I've only seen that happen handful of years.
Yeah.
That like every single month you had a game that arguably is one of the greatest games ever made.
I think that's the best year since 2011, probably, right?
Yeah.
2011 was the
100%.
last like banger year. Like it was just, you didn't have enough time to play all the great stuff that was coming out. And there really hasn't been one that good since until last year.
It's absolutely insane. Like I can count on 5 fingers in my 40 plus years of being a gamer. I can count the years that were like standouts. And last year it was a great, great year. We were spoiled, but I don't understand how all that success and popularity and all that income, the money made, everything didn't translate into job security, worker rights, unionization, profit sharing. None of that.
None of it.
None of that. The only story I heard last year was Microsoft buying out Activision Blizzard and Bobby Kotick potentially losing his job and then getting something like what, a 300 and some
fucking
million
golden
golden parachute. That son of a bitch. That sucks. Anyway, not a fan of his.
Love gold.
But that's the point. It's like, there's no culpability right now. Like the industry's kind of like very gluttonous, and it does in that regard remind me of 1983. So I'll pose the question officially. We'll go around the room. Answer me. Is this potentially 1983 again? Are we going to see a dip? Are we going to see a regression in the industry? What's going to happen of all this? Because we're only 3 months into this year and things are kind of looking kind of crappy thus far, industry wise. So
another thousands and thousands more layoffs this year already.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know who wants to field the question first.
I don't the video game industry is too big. You got films and everything else, and too many hands are involved. They know that's a moneymaker. It's not going to go nowhere. They're going to try to shortchange people with doing mobile apps and everything, which I think is disgusting. I hate mobile apps. But video games are not going nowhere no time soon.
So you're saying it's too big to fail?
Yeah, it's too big. It's too big. They'll try to shortchange it. They'll try to minimize the gaming industry. Look what they're doing with physical copies, but at the same time, it's also getting blowback because, look what happened with PlayStation. They got rid of all these games that people from Adult Swim, for example, they got rid of all these games like Samurai Jack and all. I'm one of those owners of the digital version, and you can't get that back, but you bought it. You own that. But PlayStation took that away. So and they're getting blowback on it. So now they're trying to put out classic games and everything to make up for it. So again, it's not going anywhere because they know someone is making money from this. Someone's going to.
Well, I think the bigger problem.
I think the little corporations, the little independent gaming companies like Arrowhead and everything else are going to be the saviors of, and it's going to be those companies that keep it going. Those independent companies that don't need multimedia outlets to make money because of the fact. Look at Arrowhead. Look at Helldivers 2. They showed that a small company like that can make all this money and yet not have a AAA attached to it. So again, yeah. Is it going anywhere?
Well, I mean, I think it comes down to another thing too, and I think that like the industry glut is mostly pointed towards a lot of these AAA games where they have these exorbitant budgets that they can work with and subsequently profit pretty decently, but don't necessarily translate into a trickle-down effect for its workers and developers. Case in point, just to illustrate. So if I make a game, Smoke, you and I, we make a game together, you and I. It costs us $5 to make a game. And, it's money that maybe time and money we put into it. It costs $5. We sell one copy, somebody buys it for $10. And I split the money back to you and I say, here's your half of that. Here's $5. You'd probably be like, well, okay, great. I broke even, whatever. Now, let's just say I make a game. You and I make that same game together and it costs us the same amount of money, but I'm the head of the studio. And that game makes $100. We sell it and we get $100. And I go, okay, Smoke, here's your $5. You're probably pretty pissed off, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
That's what's going on right now. It's analogous to the situation in the industry right now that's mostly non-unionized, and there aren't many protections for people who are the actual creators of the game. So I know this is like elementary economics, but it does suck when you think about it. It's like, okay, so you're telling me if I work on a game, It's like Grand Theft Auto 6, and I devote my heart and soul to this thing for 72 hours a week, and all of a sudden, like, I don't get any kind of incentivization. I don't get any kind of rights or benefits or even kind of job security. It
Yep.
creates that saltiness, and it's creating a lot of volatility in that workplace. So that's, I think, a bigger issue. I don't think it's just about the gamers and how we respond to what we see and what we buy. I think a lot of it starts in those development offices, in those cubicles themselves, and it's heart-wrenching to hear.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean,
think,
the only go ahead.
ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the
All right.
guest.
So I think it's kind of somewhere in the middle, right? I don't think it's going to go away. The games industry is not going to fail,
Right.
but I don't think it's ever going to look the way that it has looked. I think it's going to undergo fundamental changes. And an interesting point. So you bring up Helldivers, right? You bring up Arrowhead. They make Helldivers. It's so successful. It's $40. It doesn't have a bunch of bullshit in it. It's so well done. It's so gamer friendly, but it was so successful. Their next project is not going to be like that. Their next project is going to be $70, and it's going to have $120 a day one DLC, because a larger studio is going to buy them. They're not going to have the option to remain independent. They're going to be under somebody else's foot, and they're going to be the people that made the game that you have are going to be pushed out of that studio. They're going to be replaced with new people. There's going to be a new corporate mandate on how that next game is going to look, and it's going to be unrecognizable.
i.e. WB Games.
You
Yes.
just Tyler, you literally just described exactly what happened at High Moon Studios.
Yep.
You realize that?
Yeah.
It happened. They had a niche type of game that they created in-house with a relatively smaller team, but they were super high quality games. And then they were absorbed, and then they were done away with. Yeah,
And then they made
Rest
a
in peace.
point for you not to be able to get that game or access to that game.
Also, yeah,
Hurts.
exactly what Smoke's talking. Yeah, same thing.
And that's the cycle that we're in right now. That's the way the industry is moving. It's getting rid of the people that are passionate about what they're doing, and not everybody, but obviously there's still great developers. I don't want to seem like I'm, dismissing the entire industry, but so much of it is run by these bigger companies now. And as soon as something is successful, it's how can we buy this, package it, sell it for twice as much money, get 3 times the profit back. Let's push this out. We don't care about the creative vision. We want the dollars at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
look at the new South Park game. Tell me that didn't.
Oh,
happen.
that hurts. That hurts to see, because we just
hey.
replayed the other two, which are fantastic games. Like, I will be honest, like, I got them both for $10.
Yeah.
Like, and which was great, which is kind of how I've responded to this whole thing. Like, I'm very selective with what I've been purchasing recently, a lot of discounts. So it'll take something very special to get full price. And even then I look back on it like Jedi Survivor, I beat real quick, paid full price for that. I got it day one. And now I'm like, why did I do that? Like, what, Spider-Man, I rushed through, you know what I mean? Like, I've been getting everything way more discount. This Digimon game I have, way more discount. South Park, just to see what they did. Like, a studio that made such, like, the previous two were so much better. How, Swag? How? There.
Benny.
That's how I want to know.
Benny, I'm going to put you on the spot here, man. In your opinion, what do you think is the solution to this? How does the industry save itself? How do these companies do right? And ultimately, what does it mean to the gamer?
I think the industry is going to have to fix itself when the gamers make a stand and choose the appropriate games to play and know where that grade is going. Unfortunately, we all play at least one game that is part of these big, massive companies. You know what I mean? We're all guilty, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we have to be wiser, we have to be educated, and we have to think about the fact that when you compare it to other industries, this is one of the few industries that gives back in the form of entitlement. And I say that like for the developers, royalties, things like that. But even as the owners of the product, we don't own anything anymore unless it's this physical.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, we need to make sure that if we can help an indie developer fulfill a dream to build a game, and you see that consciousness of wanting to preserve their game with a physical, media, that's a good starting point, that the developers are going to have a winning chance against these bigger conglomerates.
Yeah.
Because I'll give you an example. Tyler hates when I bring this game up, but too bad. I am obsessed with a game called Cookie Cutter.
I don't hate when you bring that game up. I love Cookie Cutter.
Well, I feel like I bring it up all the time. So
No.
I was like, I didn't bring it up today, but I got to bring it up.
That's okay.
It's-
I've never given you a hard time for Cookie Cutter. Don't put words in my mouth.
It's Fortnite you hate. But with Cookie Cutter, it's an indie dev. I found that on social media as well, not through traditional PR. Literally a team of 20 guys. Okay, it took 6-7 years to make. The person that created the game, he has been working on the game while having a full-time job, and he just grinded through. They found the right publisher. He had a chance to potentially get published by Konami, which could have pretty much, I think, have a completely different outcome. Maybe not for the better when you compare that. But this is a guy that was able to put out his game, had some issues like most launch titles do, but the core people that have picked up the game saw past it because the developer is so engaged with the community. He will literally ask somebody about an issue. They'll talk about the issue. He's like, I'm literally fixing that right now. Like, you don't see that all the time, but when you're at a level of that point where you're not in an office looking at from a tower down, you have that organic approach where you can really make somebody feel like they're part of that craft. And again, that person doesn't have the physical media at the moment, hoping they do in the future. But that takes that disconnect away, where you go to a big title like Ubisoft, who puts out quadruple A games for $70 to $100 that nobody gives a shit about. And I say that, as somebody that's reviewed games by Ubisoft and likes some games by Ubisoft, but we think about, it's like any other industry. There's such a big disconnect. I talked about it earlier. I think we might have said it offline, where you have the scores for Rotten Tomatoes. You have the critic score. You have the audience score. There's a huge disconnect between the two of them. And it's usually the critic score is very out of touch, in my opinion, to what the people that it's made for is, receiving the reviews for. I think Kong versus Godzilla is a perfect example. It landed at like 46 the other day when it first came out, and then the audience was like 95. How often have we been seeing that happen? And I think we're seeing that trend with games the same way, where the
We see
written
that
reviews,
as critics,
Yeah.
as people that do written reviews. I mean, that's a big piece when Benny and I sit down to write a review. Like, you kind of look at it through the lens of a reviewer, right, of a critic. But then I also always try to sit and go, okay, mentally, I bought this game. It's launch day. I'm playing this for fun. How do I feel about this? As opposed to kind of the more surgical, like clinical, oh yeah, this part is good, this part is good, this part is bad. But it's hard as a journalist to separate that out and be like, yeah, I know people are really going to like this, but it's an objectively bad thing. You know what I mean?
So I'll trace it back to the question we asked at the top of the hour, which is basically, is this 1983 all over again? And it's not. It's not at all. Here's why I feel this way. So 40 years ago, during the first big industry crash, I mean, it started really in 82, but if you look back and you look at how the market was back then, you look how gamers were, things were very different. You had a lot of companies who were disassociated from the gaming industry that just wanted to buy into it because they knew it was the thing to do. So you had like Warner Communications buying out Atari and things like this, and they didn't know how to run it. They didn't know anything about video games or gamers or technology or anything. It was new. This was that was the beta test of the industry itself, was the pre-83 experiment that was that first generation of gaming. And it failed. We could be nostalgic for it, but ultimately it was a failure because it almost imploded on itself. Now, granted, that was sort of like focused mostly upon North America. Overseas, gaming industry was doing okay because there were just different steps being taken. But you look at the influx of terrible games back then. They just saw it as a cash cow. A lot of industries, even the big timers in the industry themselves,
Yeah.
these developers who were making games, you had everybody that wanted to get in. They had like Kool-Aid, the video game. You had Purina that made a video game. Companies that had nothing to do with gaming whatsoever wanted just their slice of that pie because they saw it as a fad. They thought it was going to die out. And they are the ones that almost caused it to die out. So that irony isn't lost on any of us. Now, you fast forward 40 years and things have changed significantly. More than half of the gamers that play today were born during the video game era. Like, we've been alive long enough now where we don't remember not having video games. So that's cool. Most of us don't even remember the 83 crash, but it sucked. You had a multi-billion-dollar industry that dropped to like, shut up, Nick, you're young, and we know.
So is Tyler.
Baby.
Yeah, so am I. So it's
I'll be
okay.
27 in like 2 weeks. Don't remind me. Ugh.
Yeah. But you had this industry who they didn't know how to run itself, and this was the big test. Like, they did what they could, and it didn't really work out the first time around. And thank God, I credit Nintendo for that resurgence that brought the NES into our living rooms, and everybody, all gamers who love games, said we're going to give this another chance because we love video games so much. And all was well. 1985 rolls around, and hey, we have video games again, and we're good. But again, fast forward 40 years, things are different. Everybody in the gaming industry and all gamers now understand what it is we're looking at. We have social media, we have news organizations, we have investor reports, everything that shows you the pulse of that industry 24/7. We see ratings of games. We know bad games when we see them, and we're not afraid to call it out.
Mhm.
We see games that exceed expectations, and we're not afraid to blow them up. Helldivers 2. I didn't think anybody was going to be blowing this game up like we are, but we reward success in this industry just as we commit ourselves to pointing out failures. And I think that's the big difference. We're more educated as consumers. We're not easily tricked by things when companies want to say, oh, we're going to give you this thing, and it doesn't pan out. Like, we are a very educated group of people now, for the most part, who are in this industry, who understand this is what we expect, this is what we're not going to tolerate. And I think if there's a trickle up effect, if developers can find it in their hearts to adopt that sort of perspective and have those standards for themselves and realize they are important to this, they're integral to this, they deserve the rights, and they deserve the money, and they deserve the rapport, and they deserve ownership of their roles and their futures. If we could start to be a little bit more cohesive on that front, I think we're going to be fine. The gaming industry is not going to go anywhere. I totally agree with Smoke. It is too big to fail. But it's going to try its hardest to fail. This is going to be a shitty year. There's going to be a lot more layoffs. There's going to be stuff getting sold off. My big prediction is Bungie is probably on the choppy block.
Probably, yeah.
I would guess, by what I'm hearing right now from reports, is that, and it's going to suck, Bungie's probably either getting super absorbed or they're going under. It may just be the end.
So it really depends.
So
yeah, it really depends, and I agree with you on that one. And I'm just going to throw this out too, and because we're all in our respective, circle. As far as I feel like we do have a measure of power when it comes to consumers, being consumers and being gamers. But as far as the workers, the one thing I'll say is definitely unionization. And all of us are part of our respective unions as well too, so we kind of understand. Just like you got to look at now, the way that was different back in the 80s is that now they can go ahead and unionize. Look at Activision. Shout out to Activision, which is a couple weeks ago, man. They they just formed under the CWA. You know what I'm saying, which is probably the largest union in America. Yep. Shout out to Sega. Sega did the same thing. This was like the end of 2023. It's the same thing, now I feel like the workers has to say something as well too, man. And I feel like with these unions forming up, that's probably going to be the biggest turnaround. It's going to be the biggest factor when it comes to job security. You know what I mean? And like I said, now Microsoft is supporting, a lot of these devs, unionizing, which is great. You know what I'm saying? That's a big plus for Microsoft. And I'm hoping that a lot of these big, companies, follow through. But it really, that's pretty much going to be the major factor. Again, like I said, you're right. All y'all are right. We do have a voice for sure as consumers, as gamers. But these workers got to really put the major effort, what I'm saying, and kind of like, forming that, it has to happen.
Well, it's It's hard though because like a lot of it's just like the one product that they're working on. Like I from the start was like I'm not really messing with Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Like I was like, hey, maybe, but like I knew I wasn't gonna be spending, especially what they're charging for games nowadays. Like it's very like Civ said, it's very easy like to see the bullshit, and we don't reward it. That's why I've been buying most of my games on sale and everything right now. Like it's not worth it, and it sucks because then it's like, all right, they put all this effort into this product that fails. There's not much else for them to fall back on and everything like that.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's such a double-edged sword. It's such a hard thing to do when you go,
Yeah.
it's literally, not to make another Easter pun, but it's like putting all your eggs in one basket.
Well,
It's
there's
really what
very
it is.
appropriate.
There's no easy answer. And speaking of no easy answers, I want to parlay this into a moment of fun for
Real
everybody.
quick, can I add one other thing real quick?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
You're gonna destroy
let's
my
do it.
perfect parlay there, my perfect transition.
Yeah, there's no easy way out.
No, go ahead, man. It's all
No,
you.
I think it's really important to note two things that I feel that are going to happen. There is going to be a major impact on the way the industry is respected. And I think that we have a potential of getting a strike like we did with the actor strike.
Right, correct.
I think it's a matter of time before that happens.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that nobody's talking about, my thoughts, I haven't had anybody else think this, I think a big contributing factor to a lot of positions being lost is AI. I think AI is
Yeah.
untalked about. And I tell you, as somebody that has it in my workplace, I don't like it. And I definitely see that them using that as ammo for reasons to terminate people when it can make the job easier. And I think the
your
aftermath
job
is
is
going to be
obsolete.
everything is going to deconstruct because everybody's going to start seeing the AI. You're going to know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Start realizing, oh, they use this in this movie. They use it in this game. Oh, look at that CGI scene. This is all AI. Well, we have a smaller staff. We don't need to pay everybody to do that. We'll get one AI engineer, and that's
true.
a big,
The
That's
CD
true.
Project Red came out today. There was an article in Kotaku, and they were saying that they confessed. They say, hey, just as an experiment, what they were going to do is they said we tried out using AI to make potentially another DLC for Cyberpunk. We just wanted to see what it would do. Like they weren't going to market it, but as an internal experiment, they wanted to say, what would happen if we said, okay, write us the story, create the characters, and they said it was a tragic mess. They said it was an absolute failure. It was laughably bad. And they said they would never stamp their name on anything that had anything to do with AI. And I think everybody needs to share that article out, support CD Projekt Red and companies like that who take a stand against this stuff. Because listen, I also work for a company that utilizes AI. AI for some things is fantastic. In the medical science arena right now, AI is being used to basically cure diseases and create new drugs and work on, chemistry and things and mathematical aspects that humans are just not really, we can't do it alone. So AI is like an assist. But for creating things that are artistic and educational and things, it just doesn't work. It's artwork and songs, and it doesn't fly.
It's
So I'm
funny
not a fan.
sometimes. It can be funny. I'll admit that. Like,
Yeah, but
you can
like,
come up with some funny prompts. It makes some weird stuff, but
I get more fake stuff in my Facebook feeds now. I'm sick of it. The kids that can create
AI
a
art
giant,
over an AI voice.
Oh, you have like a picture of like a little kid in some African country who claims that he made, the Mona Lisa out of some recycled Coke cans, and it's the dumbest looking piece of art you've ever seen in your life, and everybody in the thread is like, amen. I'm like, you guys just fall in. You don't see that
this made me cry.
Yeah,
And
It's like,
they
oh, that's
don't
what you're
realize
saying,
that
it
there's
made you
13
cry.
fingers on one hand.
Yeah,
That's always the
Yeah.
catch. Look for the hands.
Exactly.
Yeah. So speaking of hands, now this has nothing to do with
I'm about
hands.
to say,
but
wait,
I
what?
don't have
I'll say,
What?
that would have been an
Thank you for
amazing
letting me
second
share that.
transition.
I don't have a
Speaking
good.
of
I don't have a
hands,
good transition.
Let's
I already burned it.
throw it over.
That's not what we talked about, Sid. Let me stop.
So
Go ahead.
guys, one of the things we talked about last episode came up. We were talking about Final Fantasy, and we realized there's a funny thing that goes on with Final Fantasy, right? And a lot of RPGs, a lot of fantasy kinds of games, is that you get these funny sounding words, you get these funny names, you get these funny terms, and I wanted to put a game out there. So if everybody, while I intro this, if everybody can go get themselves a quick piece of paper or something to write this down, because you guys are going to keep score for yourselves. Everybody in the chat, you're free to play.
I feel like I shouldn't play this game, man. Like,
no. Okay, so anyway, so what we're going to do this game.
I'm going to put notes on my phone.
What we're going to do in this game, I'm going to give you a word. You're going to tell me whether this is a real or fake Final Fantasy word.
Oh, shit.
If this word appears anywhere in the Final Fantasy mythos, in any of the games, in any of the series, you have to say whether it's fake or real. So it's either something that is real in Final Fantasy or it's a word I made up. And I'm the only one who knows the answers. Nobody else has seen this list at all. Now, what I want you guys, I don't want you guys to discuss it, okay, before I give you the reveal. So you can tell me if it's fake or real, but don't give me your rationale for it. But just keep track for yourselves. Okay, so we're going to start off easy here and give you a word. Everybody ready? Everybody good?
Oh, wait, Civ, are we doing these all and then afterwards revealing which ones are real or fake? Or are we just going down and we'll
what
say
would you guys
real or fake,
prefer?
and then, do you want to keep score or do we want to tally them up at the end?
You guys have to keep score. I'm not keeping score.
Okay, so how many of them are there?
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, can we just get to it? All right, so the very first one here.
I'm trying. All right, fine. You know what?
Got Pat Riley over here asking for the rules of the game. All right.
I need to know how to play the ball.
So what I will do is I will say the word. I will spell it if you would like me to spell it. If somebody asks me to spell it, I'll spell it out for you.
Can you use it in a sentence?
No, I can't use it in a sentence. Don't discuss it.
What video game of origin?
All right, ready? Okay. Number one, and don't Google this stuff. The word is Norge.
Norge?
I am.
Norge.
So I'm taking these notes on a notepad on my computer. I'm not Googling them, but I am typing.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, no,
that's
I'm not going to.
Norge.
It's Norge, and I'm going to spell it for you because it's okay. N-O-R-J. Norge.
N-O-R-J.
Almost like George, but Norge. All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go around the room. Everybody has their answer locked in. Let's just go around. We'll do one at a time. Norge. All right. Tyler, what say you? Real or fake?
I say fake.
Fake. We have a vote for fake. Nick, what do you think?
I said real.
Okay.
I'm
all
wrong,
right.
probably.
Benny, Norge, real or fake?
Sounds like a Final Fantasy word to me.
Okay. Smoke.
Real.
Okay. Nux.
I say real because of the J.
Oh, I'm be the only one. I'm the outlier.
Who said it was fake?
Tyler.
You are correct. That is a fake word. There's no Norge.
Son of a gun.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Yeah, that's what I figured out. I was
didn't
like,
think
I never
so.
heard it, but the J threw me off, man.
For the record, I
you.
just Googled it while we were going through it, and there is a Norge, but it's with a G.
That's yo. Yeah.
You
Okay.
son of
That is-
a
that is-
guy.
That is Norg. It's not Norge.
Well, games can pronounce
you're
things
a
weird.
Come on, man.
All right, I got you. All right, good.
Love it.
So
Oh my god.
next one, and don't
I
call
quit.
it out. You got to lock your answer in first. All right, you ready? Okay. Next one is Barbuta. Barbuta.
Not Barthandalos.
No. Barbuta.
Barbosa? I'm joking.
Barbuta.
Barbosa.
Shall I spell it?
Yeah.
B-A-R.
Get kicked out of the.
B-A-R-B-U-T-A.
Okay.
Barbuta.
All right.
Real
I'm
or
locked in,
fake?
Yeah. I'm locked in. Yeah.
Real or fake? Everybody locked in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody's locked in. Who said it was real? Let's go around the room here. Nux, real or fake?
That's real, dude. Yeah, 100%.
Smoke.
Real.
No, Nick.
Rip.
Benny.
Yep. Cousin
Tyler.
of Barthandalos.
Real.
Share screen here. Let's see, because you guys are correct. Barbuda is in fact a real character. It's an enemy character from Final Fantasy X-2.
Yep.
So if you said Barbuda was real, you are correct.
I used to call my ex that too, man. She got mad.
Oh, shut up. Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
So I was like, that's 100%. Yeah.
It's
she
such a
hated it,
great
man.
word.
True story.
That's
True
such a-
story.
True story.
True story.
It's
y'all.
a great,
True
it's a
story.
great word, though, right?
Sounds like
True
yeah.
story. True story,
Yeah.
y'all. I hate y'all.
Barbuda's
True story.
fantastic. Okay, all right. Next one here. So, all right, next one is
1-1.
Salika Wood. Salika Wood.
What you call me?
It's the girl I went to school with.
Spell
Salika
that
Wood.
real quick, yo.
SALIKAWOOD, and don't Google it. Salika Wood.
Safe search off.
Sounds like a
Right.
neighborhood you end up in a dream. End up there.
Salika, yeah. Salika Wood.
I bet a Salika would if she did, you know.
All right. We all locked in?
Freaking
Yeah.
nature.
All right. Let's go around the room. Okay. Knuckles. Real or fake?
That's
Salika
fake.
Wood.
I think the spelling. That's fake.
SALIKAWOOD.
Yeah, it's fake. It's fake.
Salika Wood.
Ah,
All right. Smoke.
It's a fake.
Nick.
it's real.
Tyler.
I also said fake that time.
Benny.
Fake. You're writing these as we go along.
Yeah.
I am not. Salika Wood is in fact real.
What?
It is a real
did
area in Final Fantasy 13. That is Salika
That's
Wood.
how I knew
That's
it.
what I'm trying to.
because-
What? I don't remember that. I thought it was a spelling. I thought it
Yes,
was
sir.
I thought CALICA. All right, never mind.
No.
That's
It's
bullcrap,
Salika Wood. Salika Wood. All right. That is real. Salika Wood
That's
is
BS,
in fact.
man. That's BS.
It is not
Yeah,
BS. It's
I played
FF.
like 10 minutes of 13 and it proved me right. I probably never even got to this area, but it was in my heart.
All right. Next one. You guys ready? All right. Adremelech. Adremelech. ADRAMMELECH. Adremelech.
My God, what the? Oh my God. Oh man. I'm stressing now that we're here.
Stressing out.
Adremelech.
Everybody ready?
What does Adremelech?
All right. What does a drum? Nothing. You can use those things like rotary tools and etching and sanding. They're great. Dremelech's nothing.
Locked in.
All right. Tyler, real or fake?
I'm gonna go real on this one.
Okay.
Sounds
Nick?
like something.
Real.
Okay. All right. Knuckles?
Fake. It's a car oil brand. Fake.
It's a car oil brand. Okay. Smoke.
If it is, I'm gonna be mad.
I knew we got that from. It's fake.
Is that everybody?
He's gonna show a
Benny,
picture of
everybody
car
yours?
oil.
Fake.
Fake. Okay. All right. I see.
Sharing
See,
the
I see.
I knew it.
Yeah, I
tricked
knew
a
it.
lot of you. 'Cause Dremelech is also one of the Eidolons, one of the summons from also Final Fantasy 13. Oh no, sorry, that's Final Fantasy 12. My part, my fault here. I am looking at the wrong thing here. Yes, but
It's okay. Common mistake. Common mistake.
That is
Common mistake.
Adremelech, and Adremelech is in fact real.
I look at that and I think Dremelech.
You're right. Okay.
So for the record, that picture you had shown of Final Fantasy 13 before, to me, did not look like Final Fantasy 13 at all. I thought Final Fantasy 13 was with lightning. Am I crazy?
13 is like
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
That looked like 12. That looked like 12 to me. That's just irking. It's irking me.
I
no
think
way.
he's
Salika Wood.
I'll take a point back for that if I'm right.
no, it's in multiple games, but that was the one.
It's 13-2 and 13 retro. Is it?
All right,
That don't
next
look like
one.
no lightning.
All right.
Yeah, I was confused.
Gnome Rot. One word. GNOME.
That's one of Tyler's games.
Wait, you said GNOM. What was it?
GNOMEROT. Gnome Rot.
Oh man. That gnome rot. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Locked in.
Locked in. Everybody's good.
It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in here.
All right, Smoke.
Not real.
Gnome Rot. All right, Knuckles.
That's fake, dude. Yeah.
Benny.
It exists in some other game, but not Final Fantasy.
Right.
Tyler.
I also said fake.
Yeah, Nux?
Fake.
Nimrod. Wow. Did anybody say real?
Oh, except for you,
No,
probably.
but you asked
I
Mark
said
twice.
real.
I also said fake, but you asked Mark twice and not me once.
No, don't BS me
Apologies.
and say
I'm
it's
trying
real.
to-
Don't BS me and say it's
ahead.
real, dog.
Go ahead, Nick. Is it real or fake?
No, it's fake.
Okay. All right. It is fake.
I'm about to say, dog. You're
It is
freaking.
fake.
I'm waiting for
All
that
right.
screen to be shared.
No, yeah, right. I'm
Yeah,
looking at it
right,
too.
right.
I'm looking at it too. I was like, dog, is he pulling off like an encyclopedia all the way down to like, non-existing names?
He's in the index. He's in the index.
All right. All right. Let's see here. Destromold. Destromold. D-E. It's like Destro Mold. DESTROMOLD. Now I'm calling it Destromold.
Cobra.
That's an easy lock-in, dude. Let's go.
Yeah. I was just thinking that.
Everybody good? Everybody good?
Existence is pain.
Knuckles.
That's
Real or
real
fake?
because of how you try to struggle with that word. And I know you try to struggle with Final Fantasy words like that. That's real, dude.
All right.
Dude.
All right. Nick, Destromold, real or fake?
I think that is real.
All right. Tyler, real or fake?
I said real as well.
Smoke.
Real.
Benny.
It'd be the oddball. Fakey.
Ooh.
Well, Benny is the only one who's correct.
Get the heck out of here. And you struggle with your own fake word?
That is fake. That is fake.
He didn't sell me on
Dude
it.
looked at his toy
Knuckles,
bin and pulled up
all the-
Destro.
And you struggle with your
All
own
the-
fake word, dude?
All the Among Us you've played, you can't spot a poker face.
And you
now.
struggle with your
Shame to
own
you,
fake
bro.
word. That's great. That was good acting,
He made it
dude.
up.
That's
He
good
looked at
acting.
his toy bin.
Solid.
He pulled out Destro and he said,
Thank you.
this mold. Oh,
All right.
it's ridiculous.
All right, everybody. Okay, what's the score so far? We're halfway through, so let's get some scores here. Nick, how many do you have correct? How many correct
I
responses?
have
thus far?
1, 2, 3. I have 4 correct, just based
4.
solely on guessing.
Okay, 4 out of
Yes.
6. All right, Tyler, how we doing?
Also 4.
Nice. Benny.
Yeah.
3.
3. Smoke.
None. I think I had 0. No, 1. I got 1.
Got 1.
Mhm.
All right. Who are we missing? Knuckles? Did I ask
I got
you?
2, but it's some BS. Anyway, I got 2.
Hey, it's a BS. Okay.
It's phonetics. It's phonetics.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Okay, we're at halftime here. Let's go. A couple more. So next one is Pisco Demon.
Piss?
Sorry.
Piss on a
Pis-
demon? What?
Pisco Demon?
Pisco Demon.
Disco demon?
Piscodemon. Pisco Demon.
If it's disco demon, I'm gonna be so mad.
It's not Disco Demon. It's Pisco
Disco
Demon.
Demon.
No, I meant like if this is the fake and then the real thing in Final Fantasy is a disco demon. I don't want to fight that.
No,
Fake.
no, that. All right, everybody good? Ready?
Take you down to
Yep.
Funky Town.
All right,
Yeah.
so
Dance the machine. Watch it get down. Watch it get down.
Smoke. Real or fake?
Not real.
Nick, go ahead.
I said it's real.
Tyler.
I said fake.
Knuckles.
I
Knuckles.
said, my bad. Chat is killing me. I said real.
Okay. Do not look at the chat. Wow. Benny. Pisco Demon. Real or fake?
I think it's a trick question, but I think it's real. That with that kind of name, it has to be.
Real. Well, I like your rationale for this because Pisco Demon is in fact real. It's a type of mind flayer.
All right,
Oh my
cool.
God.
Cool.
That's what he looks like. I wish I
Cool.
could get this thing. Can I get this off of here? Why?
Oh
did
my
I get
god.
Yeah, I see it. We
Cthulhu?
see it. We see it. Yep.
I hate that thing. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. That guy right there. That's
Yep.
Pisco
Yeah.
Demon.
Dude, I was so sure it was a Devil May Cry monster. I thought you were fucking with us, and it was a Devil May Cry monster that you threw in like it was Final Fantasy. 'Cause I could not remember it being in Final Fantasy, but I was like, I'm almost sure that's Devil May Cry.
Pisco Demon goes all the way back to Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah,
And
nice.
it has had other appearances, but yeah, it's one of the mainstay characters, believe it or not. It's been in more than one. So yeah, Pisco Demon. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, next one. Perhaps the greatest name of all. Cockatrice. Cockatrice. Is Cockatrice real? COCKATRICE. Cockatrice.
Oh man. Can I borrow $1? I gotta go cockatrice.
Real.
It's like it's a trick question. It's a Pokemon.
It's like, who's that
Right.
Pokemon? It's cockatrice.
A wild cockatrice appears. Okay, everybody good? Cockatrice. You good?
Do, do.
All right, go down the list here. Nick, cockatrice, real or fake?
I believe that cock is a trees. Yes.
Okay. Smoke,
It is real.
cockatrice, real or fake?
Real.
Benny.
Yeah, it's probably like the cousin of the Chocobo. So yeah.
Okay. Taking a little guess. Tyler, cockatrice, real.
I say real.
He says real. All right. And who do we miss? You guys keep disappearing from my screen here. Nux, did we get you?
That is Final Fantasy IV and it's real.
Oh, he's confident. All right. Everybody get in. We're good. We're locked in.
Yep.
Cockatrice. So you are correct, Mark. Not just Final Fantasy IV, but Cockatrice appears in a lot of Final Fantasy games. So all the way back to Final Fantasy I has appeared in at least 3 others that I can remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yes, that is
Yep.
Cockatrice right there.
Oh,
And,
cock cat rice. I got it.
Cock at rice. Cock
I'm pretty
at
sure
rice.
there's a side quest in
Cock-
16 that has one too.
You would be correct. Yeah,
These
that's
things
the other
are
one I was thinking.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's like
so
if
there
a
you go.
different tribe from Avatar, like what they would ride. You know how like some fly, some have fish. This is like the same
Right.
kind of thing. Okay, cool.
All right.
I'm with it.
Okay.
That's one hard cock.
You ready for the next one? All right. Snarpooze. 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 Real or fake?
Oh my.
It sounds
I
like
want it
what
to
I
be
say
real
when I
because
sneeze.
I want it to be real because I don't want it to be something that you thought of. So I'm gonna say real.
Wow, you little hater. Okay.
No, what?
let's
I'm
see.
just saying. That's a weird
Benny.
one.
Benny, real or fake? Snarpooze and Final
I think
Fantasy.
it's about time you had another fake one. You've been doing a little. too
See,
much
he's just
real.
going by the odds.
Yeah,
All right, okay.
probability. I feel you with that, Betty.
Yeah,
Probability.
that's not going to really help. I can tell you it's not really going to help you in this.
Not in
He
the mood
loves
to be
Final
tricked.
Fantasy.
Probability, man. Probability. Yep. It will
Mark.
always win.
Snarpooze.
I
Fake or
I
real?
agree with Betty. I would say it's fake, dude. Yeah.
Smoke.
Fake.
Tyler.
I am also on the fake bandwagon.
All right. Snarpooze is fake.
Yep.
I made that up.
Yep.
Son of a.
Yep.
All right.
Dude, Betty, I was looking at probability. I was like, he's got to put another fake with it.
Number 10.
You think that's going to help you? That's funny. All right. Number 10. All right. Next one is white. White.
What you call me?
WHIT.
White.
That's racist.
WHYT.
Y T.
White.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh, that's gotta be like that's some dude. Everybody knows White. He's
Everybody
cool.
knows
Everybody
White.
Everybody knows White. His cousin Black. You know.
What was the
BLYK.
spelling, what was the
I don't
spelling
know.
again?
WHYT.
White.
White.
What?
Not wit.
White
White.
Goodman. White Goodman. Is the hair? Is it the hair?
All right. Smoke. White. Real or fake?
Fake. That's a
Nick.
complicated-
Real or fake?
Real.
Okay. Mark.
Real.
Tyler. Real. or
Real.
fake? Benny. Real or fake?
Be smart, Betty. Oh my God.
So
Oh, here
this
we
one's-
go.
This one's a bit of a deep cut, but white is real, and this is white.
Yep.
That's what. Did you know that, Mark? Seriously? Because
No.
it only appears in one game, and it's a super deep cut. It's the
It looks
remake.
like
of-
doggone what's his name from Saw?
It does look a little like
it's a summon that only appeared in the Nintendo DS remake of Final Fantasy IV. It's the only game. It's the only mention, but that's the only, and that's also like the only picture. That's
That's a real
white.
deep cut. That's a real
That
deep
is
Not
a
enough
deep
white.
cut. So if you get yourselves give yourselves almost 2 points if you got that one right. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. All right.
All right, I'm gonna write correct next to this.
Okay. I don't know if this is flag goosed with a hard G or a flag juiced with a G, but it's P A it's flag goosed. I think it's flag goosed. PHLAGUST. G-O-O-S-T. Flagoose. Flagoose.
Is this another cockabat? What was it called? Cockabite?
Cockatrice? This is Flagoose.
Yeah, is this another cousin?
No,
Is this another chocobo cousin?
He's doing the same thing like
one more
Destro
time?
Mold, man.
Sorry.
He's doing the same thing.
Destro mold, yeah.
Can you spell it one more time? I think I'm spelling it wrong.
P-H-L-A-G-O-O-S-T.
Okay, I was spelling it like ghost. That's why I'm like.
Yeah, no, it's not ghost.
I don't
It's
feel like
goo-
if it was real, they wouldn't spell it that way.
It's goosed or juiced. Juiced? I don't know. All right, everybody ready? Benny, you ready? All
I
right.
guess.
We're gonna start with Benny. Flagoose. Real or fake?
I don't think so. I'm gonna go 3 for 3 on this one.
You think it's
die on
fake?
this hill. Yeah, I'll die. on
You're
this
saying
hill.
fake. All right, he's fake. Smoke.
He's gonna guess fake until he gets one correct.
Right.
Tyler, fake. Fake or
I
real?
said real. I said real.
You think it's real? Okay.
Little
Nux.
flagoosed.
I said real too.
Like goose.
Right.
What?
Nick. Nick.
I don't let you put an Italian accent on it. No, it's a no for me.
That's a fake? You're saying fake?
It's a fake. I say fake.
How do you say
Okay.
it in Italian, Nick?
All right. Well,
A
it might
flagoose.
surprise you to know that
Oh,
it is,
come on, man.
in fact, fake.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, flagusa. Flagusa, you get it on the side of your pasta fagioli. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
We'll go get some
Last
flagoosed
one.
at Olive Garden tomorrow.
Last one
disgusting.
here.
Diarrhea garden.
Yeah.
All right. Last one, guys.
Let's do it.
It's for all
Guys,
the marbles.
Gasol.
Please spell
Paul
and say it in a
Gasol?
sentence.
Spell it.
G-Y-S-A-H-L. Gasol.
Better call Gasol.
Ooh. Make me laugh, Sif.
It's real.
You guys ready? Everybody locked in? All right.
Ready.
Real.
Yeah.
Tyler, real or fake?
I say real.
Okay. Okay. Nick, real or fake?
Real.
Benny.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
What is reverse psychology?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
What
real
am
on
I
this
gonna
one.
say?
I'm gonna
Gonna
end it
go
on
real?
real. There you go.
Real? All right.
enough
Nick, did we do you?
You did everybody but me, man.
I said real. Real.
Yeah, all right. Everybody, we got
Mark.
everybody. Okay,
It's-
Knuckles, real or fake?
It's real. It's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable. It's a vegetable. Is it a vegetable?
Gasol
Yes,
greens. It's a vegetable. Yes, it is.
What?
Yeah,
Whoa! Look at
yeah.
that.
Feed them
And they're
things to get the
sparkly,
chocobos
too.
to come out.
There you go. Yes,
Yep.
Gasol greens, and who eats them? Hold on. Don't answer, Mark. Smoke. What is the
Chocobos.
name of the big yellow chickens?
Chocobos, whatever the hell you call them. Yellow big bird. That are supposed to really-
Chickadoos.
Chackacoos.
It's a
Yellow
joke from the last
big
episode,
birds.
yo. It's a joke from the last episode.
Yeah, he said something that
The-
wasn't the right answer.
It's I thought they were called Shaka Khans. Is that not? Yeah.
Shaka Khan.
What was it?
Shaka
Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan.
Shaba,
Eats the
the
Gasol greens.
Shabadoos.
Gabagool.
M. Night
Gabagool.
Shyamalan?
Gabagoo.
Oh man.
Where's the
Oh, so
frickin',
these are in the
Gabagool?
the Billy Madison and Happy Madison movie, right?
Right.
Shabadoo.
All right. So to
Gabagoo?
recap, so
Shabahoo.
Norwich is fake. Barbuda is real. Salika Wood is real. Tremaleka is real. Gnome Rot is fake. Duster Mold is fake. Pisco Demon is real. Cockatrice is real. Snark Poos is fake. White is real. Flagoose is fake, and Gasol is real. So let's get the final grade here. I'm gonna start with who I think got the least, and I apologize I want to out you like this, but Smoke, what was your final score there, buddy?
I think I got 4.
Okay, you didn't really track it. Okay, no, don't worry
I
about
wasn't tracking.
it. Nick, how many did you get right?
Are we counting the double points for number 10 like you said before?
You know what? I will. I'm gonna give double points for 10. If you got white, real. If you called it real and you scored that, I'm giving you 2 points. That's a deep cut. So
I
Okay,
have
alright.
10 points.
10
Yeah.
points. That's amazing for a
10
guy that
point. I
really
only got-
doesn't
Yeah,
play
right?
Final Fantasy.
Right?
Yeah. I got
Alright.
1, 6, and 9 wrong.
All right. Knuckles.
I got 8, man. I got 8.
8, okay. So Nick is the guy to beat. All right, so Benny, what was your final score there, buddy?
I was at 9.
9 is respectable. Did you give yourself double points for number 10, white, or did you
No,
not get that one?
I didn't get that one.
Yeah, he
Oh,
lost that.
all right. So
Because
it's up to
I
Ty.
was thinking trick question of like a white mage. I'm like, it's not specific.
All right.
Because that was the only thing I could think of.
All right. It comes down to Tyler. Will Tyler be the one to dethrone Nick?
Nope.
Tyler, what was your score, buddy?
Came in at 9 as well.
Hey, we tied.
Wow.
Let's go. No, wait, I'm not tied with you. You tied with freaking Benny.
Press
Never
for
mind.
tie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
Yep.
Nick represent. The guy doesn't even play Final
How about
Fantasy
that, man?
That's kind of amazing.
Go play that Powerball
That's
tonight,
because he
Nick.
got into his Digimon.
Take that.
game. His confidence. is in.
Take that. That's why I do. I'm on it, man. I'm in there. I'm in the head. I got it. I understand. You
Nick
got
is-
bringing around. I'm playing mind games. I'm 4D chess right now. Get
He's
out of
playing
here. I'm going to the
fantasy.
danger room.
Shut
X-Men
up,
97.
man.
What are we
Shut
talking
up.
about?
Nick is
I'm going
Nick
to the
is smoking
danger
that.
room.
Nick is smoking that gnome rot. All right. Anyway, guys,
Yo.
on that note, guys, let's close this thing out here. First and foremost, I know we spent a lot of time together tonight. We really appreciate Tyler, Benny, both you guys. Press for time. Really appreciate all the time you guys gave us tonight. Run through again real quick. Like, let everybody know where they can find you, where we can find you. What the future holds. What you got?
Absolutely. So we have a lot of things in the works. Unfortunately, because we are pressed for time, things are a little slow, but we promise everything that we put out will be quality and worthwhile. We have a lot of unique variety show content on the YouTube page. We have the audio-based platform. The easiest way to find us now is going to be wearepressfortime.com. It's going to be our home landing page for all of our stuff. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on the world of Twitter.
We can find you on Super Earth.
Yeah.
Usually single player. That's blasphemous, but
Okay. Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
hardcore.
Hey.
gluttonous. But yeah, no, that's really we're spending a lot of our time on the YouTube side. And again, you can find Tyler and I's work on gaming-age.com. We've been both writing there for almost a decade and reviews.
Awesome.
I actually landed a written review interview with Adi Shankar, which is on there as well. So a lot of great opportunities, and we're very thankful to have, this opportunity to sit with you guys. Thank you. You guys rock. Obviously, longtime friends of a couple of you guys, and I think Too Many Games is a great opportunity for us to connect in person.
Yep.
So I would
Definitely.
look forward to that.
Benny, I got to ask you about Adi Shankar. When you were talking to him, and this might be a spoiler, but I want to know. I can't wait to know this information. Did you ask him if there's going to be a season 2 of Guardians of Justice? Please say yes.
I did. He said it's something he wants to work on. I don't think he can right now. I think
Yeah.
he's obligated to all the licensed stuff.
Yeah.
Because, he has stuff that hasn't released yet.
I will say this for Guardians of Justice. Exceeded expectations by far. And
I was the one who told you about it. Remember?
You did. You turned me on to it. And I mean, Diamond Dallas Page.
I did some photos with Addy when I was in New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Because
we
did that
Didi
thing with
the show in that show.
the Dread stuff with him. So yeah.
Nice, cool. Tyler,
Excellent.
got any closing words for us there, buddy?
No, man, thank you so much. This has been a blast. It's been really fun to come on and chat with you guys. I've loved, obviously, I didn't know any of you guys before this, like Benny. So this has been great. It's been wonderful to meet you guys. Like Benny said, the website, wearepressfortime.com, has like the landing page for everything. If you want to follow me personally, I'm on Twitter at thatgamesguy, and then do my writing for Gaming Age. If anybody wants to see me eviscerate Rise of the Ronin, I just did that review. That game was insultingly bad, and
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You could tell it looked like a diet, like Ghost of Tsushima, like it needed more time in the oven,
It's more like diet RC Cola.
Yeah,
It's more like
wanted to be,
Ghost of Sushi.
Yeah, it wanted to be Ghost of Tsushima,
Ghost of
and ended up
Tsushima.
being
Is that a trauma movie?
a bad Assassin's Creed.
Trauma. Look at that callback. I appreciate a good callback there, Benny. Thank you. Well done, guys.
Assassin's Creed. You mean Assassin's
Creed? It's been amazing having you guys on. We really appreciate it. And we are legitimate about, like, if you guys want to come out there, we are going to have a table there at Too Many Games again this year. We're going to be hosting a lot of the panels. More information on that coming up in the next couple months here, but that's going to be a blast. And you guys are more than welcome to come out there, share the table with us, man. Stop out, do your thing. It's going to be awesome.
Okay.
What are you showing us?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That'd be awesome. We'll connect more offline. I'm truly interested. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Guys, thanks again. Everybody who's watching, thank you. Thank you guys for playing along. If you play our cool Final Fantasy game, don't forget to snap who's, and we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Don't forget to Destro mold.
Yeah,
Oh,
Destro
I'm on
mold,
you.
guys.
Yeah, real yeah, like I said before we go, of course, you know we got to go through the end game credits. Of course, you already know. Definitely got to follow us on every social media, everywhere at PTC Gaming Show. Of course, man, we have a fan page just for you. It's called PTC Nation. We can go ahead and put everything. I'm not even gonna read. I don't have the card here, man. You already know what to do in PTC Nation, man. That is where gamers meet and come and get together and connect, all that, so we can pass the control to y'all. Again, guys, listen, Press for Time, you are amazing. Seriously, I love y'all so much, man. You got a new fan in me, you know, as always, man. So, yeah, again, much love to Sid for hosting it, as always, man. So, holy crap, man, we're going to be back with y'all next episode. So, of course, for Nick, for Smoke, for Civ, for the guys at Press for Time, Benny and Tyler, I'm McNux, my man Civ over there, because we are past the controller. And as always, people, get good.
Peace in there.
Pass out.
Take care and have fun.
Beautiful. We're off air.
Good job, guys. That was fun.
That was awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. That was a blast, guys.
Guys, we got to do this one often.
Absolutely. You guys
I'm not
are
kidding.
welcome
This
on the
was-
show as well anytime. I know schedules are always our pain point, you know, especially pretty
Yeah.
much most of us. Monica and I are the only ones that are kind of close
Down in New Orleans.
We're doing our best.
Oh, wow.
We will make time. We're passionate enough so we can do it. And, like I said, Civ, let's really try to work on that Tony thing. I've met him in person before. I don't know if you remember when Adam used to do hardcore cosplay for Toxie when nobody else was doing it.
I remember specifically.
In fact, I was talking for Thompson for a while. As a matter of fact, I did a couple of stuff for him. Yeah, hey, Smoke, can you do Toxic for me? I'm like, sure.
All right, here's the plan. We're on together. Let's talk about something like that I think I can pull off. What I'll do, if you guys want, what I'll do is I'll reach out to Lloyd, and basically what I want to do is I want to talk to him in correlation with the game. So there is the Toxic Adventure game that we all played last year, 2 games. I don't know that I have a run for that yet, but I'll look at it. I think so. I think so too.